Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Let's get the live comments box up working. First of all, probably the most important part of this channel. Let's have a look. Oh, it's messing around again. Why does it always do that? Authorise. We are live, I hope, and I will get this sorted. I should have done it before we went on air, but I was so excited. I wanted to go live about the Pogba thing. I'm sure a few of you will be excited by that as much as me, as everything's going off at the moment, as it always does. Right, yes, we're live. We're live. You can hear me. That's the main thing. I'm just about to get the live comments up as well. Apologies for being a little bit of an amateur, but we've got it. Allow. Work, Mo. Come on. Are we working? Work it, baby. Work it. Work. Work. I want you to work. Select event. Manchester United versus Leicester. It's up. It's up. It's working. It's a brilliant thing when it works. It's working. Working! Hooray! Hooray! Welcome to the United Stand. We're welcome and we are live and everything is working, which is absolutely superb. Right, unite the United Stand army. It's the watch-along. It's the first watch-along of the season that really matters. Last time I think we had about 9,000 people watching. If you can get that going, fair play to you. I don't know whether we can. Pog boom, says Jason Williams. Absolutely 100%. Hello, hello, hello. Hi Mark, hi everybody. Pog boom going off. I tell you what, it's a nice feeling in life when you're writing, aren't you? And I know a lot of you watch the United Stand, you enjoy the content we provide, and we enjoy providing the content to you. If you've been with us for the last month in relation to Pogba, we've been saying, me as well, very relaxed about this deal. It will happen. When the BBC News say that Juventus have given Manchester United permission for Paul Pogba to have a medical with Manchester United, then it is a done deal, like we've been saying. I don't know why I'm going on Jimmy Savile, that's worrying. It's a done deal. It is a done deal. We've been saying it for a long time that the deal between Pogba and the club has been done for weeks. The Juventus thing, now... I was a total guess last week when I said I think it'll happen on Monday, and I wanted it to happen tomorrow because it will destroy everybody's start to the week when they're all going back to work, miserable anyway, and we're already Community Shield holders, and then Pogba signs as well. Every Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, City fan, they'll come out and deny being bitter about it, but they will be bitter. So I want it 8 o'clock tomorrow morning when they're all on the way to work. Boom, Pog boom all over that, and Real Madrid. Winter is coming. The winter is coming. My video about that, I can't wait. It's so close now. I'm going to absolutely explode all over Real Madrid about that. But Pogba is coming to Manchester United. What a day. For all those of you who've been doubting it, what a day. I'm pumped, and I'm pumped up to the limit because I'm excited about this game, which we're going to talk about in a moment because the team news will be coming up. I need to just get somewhere so we can see that the second it comes up. But... I was already excited about that. Already knew that Pogba would be coming to Manchester United. But what an announcement. Everybody will always say anyway. When Leicester, when BBC come out and say that it's going to be, it's doing a medical, you know it's done. We knew it was done for a while, but you know it's done. And we can all sit back now, enjoy what is our first proper game of the season. It is our first game of the season. There's lots of things to be excited about. This game in particular, and Pogba is coming to Manchester United. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I think there's a lot of things that we could be negative about. I've not been happy about Schweinsteiger, happy about Pereira, things like that. But as I tweeted out before, it's time to stand together. We've had a lot of negativity. No doubt that Jose is the best manager we can have. No doubt this is the best summer we've ever had in relation to signings. When you look at Zlatan, Mkhitaryan, and now Pogba, and even Bailly. Amazing summer. It's time to unite now. It's time to be positive. This game, Craig Farrell, winter has arrived. William Spall says BBC are the most reliable by far. They don't put pen to paper, as Conlon Shaw said, hashtag BBC best source. They don't print something unless it is sealed and delivered. You'll get your journalists, you'll get Sky Sports, you'll get papers. They'll come out and say, done deal, everything like that, even the United Stand. but they will never do it until it is 100%, and it is going to happen. So enjoy it, but enjoy the game. Let's get on to the game. Let's talk about the game. I've got a couple of guests coming on. I've got Dan with me for the watch-along. I've got all you lot with me for the watch-along. The way the watch-alongs work is we watch the game together, we interact together, and what I'm looking for this season from you, we started the watch-alongs last year, as you know. What I'm looking for from you this season, and I want to see it on the live comments during the game, is a bit of tactical nous, a bit of looking at certain players and saying they're doing well and they're not. That's the sort of thing I want to be reading out from you lot today, because the last couple of watch-alongs we've done for the pre-season have been superb for that. I'm going to tell you what I'm looking out for, but really want to get a lot of your comments today during the match about how you feel the game's going. If you're new to the watch-along scenario, you'll see in front of me Leicester City 0, Manchester United 0. Give me a shout. Sometimes I get lost in the moment, especially when United score, to change the score. The little blue box in front of me, that's the timer. When the timer kicks up, when the game kicks off, we'll sync in exactly with what we are watching with the time. You are watching on YouTube. It probably isn't second for second live. We're probably anywhere between 10 and 30 seconds behind. So for those who want to sync in and get the full watch along experience, just pause your coverage wherever you're watching it, a stream on the telly or whatever. Sync it in with our time, and then we're spot together. But I do enjoy the watch-alongs. I know a lot of you do. We've got the live comments to the left, to my left as well, which you can read during the game. We like to get you lot involved. It's very, very interactive. That's what the United Stand's all about. Let's get everybody involved. I know a lot of other people do these now, but this is the original, the best, and it's the United Stand army, isn't it? So let's get the video shared. Let's like the video. Put it out across social media everywhere you can. Let's get as many people involved with the United Stand as possible, because I feel it really is important. And also, as I keep saying, I want you, not literally. Oh, we can have that sort of show if you want, but I am feeling like that. Jose Plan says there's a confirmed lineup, so let's go for the lineup, and we can talk back to that a little bit more in a moment. It's all going off, but this is what we like about the new season. Oh, there's a club statement on Paul Pogba as well. Hashtag Paul Pogba's back. It's all going off. Get tweeting, everybody. Club release statement on Pogba. I will read it to you live. Oh my God, we are live at the best time ever. I'm loving it. We're loving it. We're loving it like that. It is absolutely amazing. Oh God, I can't move through things quick enough here. Where is it? Pog boom. Oh, fancy getting that live. We've never been live on air for anything like this before. Club statement on Paul Pogba. Are you ready, everybody? This is official. Pogba to have medical at Aon Training Complex. Paul Pogba has been granted permission to have a medical in order to finalise his transfer from Juventus to Manchester United. Back of the net. Pog boom, what did we tell you? Come on. I ain't leaving Twitter or the United Stand's not collapsing. We've been telling you this for weeks. Everybody stood by us in the main, and it is happening. That's on the official Manchester United website. Hashtag Pogback, and he's having his medical at the Elm Training Centre. It's going to boom tonight. Don't miss Sunday Night Live. Stay with us for this. We'll be talking about it. But also, we've got a match to watch. We've got a Sunday Night Live, and what a time to be alive. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, God. It's not even the relief, because I've been so relaxed about it. It's just the fact that it's happening. It is amazing. So there you go. It's on the Manchester United website. It was their last tweet. So there probably is a new tweet coming up now, because they'll be officially putting the team out, hopefully. But he's having his medical, which means he's a fit lad. He's not going to fail his medical, is he? It's happening. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I think it's so funny because so many people have been saying it's not going to happen, and I've been so relaxed about this. It's been such a great transfer for me personally, and for the United Stand, and for all you lot as well. But that is brilliant. I think we've been leading with the Pogba signing thing, all of us collectively, for a month now. So how fitting it is that we're live on air when Manchester United announce it as well. Absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant, superb. Confirmed lineup. Manchester United haven't put this out yet. I don't know whether it's true. De Gea, Valencia, Bailly, Blind, Shaw, Carrick, Fellaini, Lingard, Rooney, Martial, Ibrahimovic. That's a shocking lineup to the Jose plan if that's true. Fellaini and Lingard, I'd sort of heard that they might be playing, but what the hell is going on there? Really, really odd if that's true. But winter is here. Let's not focus on Fellaini. God, no, we don't want to be depressed. Epic toast of fish. He's excited that it's happened just before the game. It's all over. JP McCulley saying it's all over Instagram as well. I'm sure it is. Yeah, the team is out. Let's go and get the official team. I think I've just read the official team out, but let's make sure. I'm quite surprised if that is the team. I don't understand why the lineup is not put out on the Manchester United page, but that's a bit of a shame. I don't want to start reading things out that aren't correct. I've got prediction lineup. I haven't got a real lineup. Harish Patel, brilliant. I was refreshing for the lineup and suddenly I found Pogba update. Oh wow, what a day. I totally agree with you, mate. Superb. I'm not getting an official lineup. It's really weird. Manchester United against... Here we go. No, it's a potential lineup. I don't want a potential lineup. Shut up with your potential lineups and give us the lineup. There must be somewhere a team lineup. Well, we'll go back to the comment section and see what you lot say. I've got Martin joining me in a minute. I think it's an absolutely epic day anyway. I've been really excited about this. But hashtag Pogback live on air. I think it's fitting really because we've been so consistent about this deal that it would happen. And I'm absolutely ecstatic with it. But I've still got nothing on the lineup, so I will wait on that. I've got a load of comments coming in. Martin can come on whenever he wants. That's fine. I'm just reading some messages. Mark, Pogba and Limbard dabbed together. Yeah, Pogba tomorrow. Tomorrow he's going to be unveiled. It's but we all knew it anyway, didn't we? We all knew it. Let's have a look on the live comments. Anybody giving us anything on this team? Why is Fellaini and Lingard in the team? Lingard gives us nothing. No Memphis Depay in the squad. Lineup is out now. I get my lineup from an official source, and I am not getting it. Team's not out. ESPN confirms. Shining Force UK. That means he has a medical, I think. Fellaini starts, says George Jackson. Yeah, well, we'll go. I'm not going to go negative about the team until it's officially out, so we'll stay calm for the moment. But talking about Pogba, when the club are announcing that he's officially having a medical, we should be ecstatic about that, of course. But we've got no right to do this deal. We've got no right to do the deal, and I'm happy to talk about things about the deal now because I've always known it's going to happen. But let's get Martin in. He's Skyping me. Hello, Martin. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all right. I'm just going to get you up on the actual screen as well, so that everyone else can see you and not just me. Okay, I think they should be able to hear you now. I saw in the direct message box in the United Stand that you're aware of what's just happened live on air. Give us your thoughts. Give us your thoughts on Pogba, because last week you were quite negative about it. I told you to relax. No. I told you to relax, and I told you all. I told you all.
About it. I was just worried, but I mean, come on. I mean, that's it now. We've all been waiting for the club to officially announce it. I mean, even this morning when they're saying he's had this secret flight, that was nonsense in my head because there was no proof of it. But certainly there was going to be no point in him flying back to Italy to start training and fly back to Manchester for a medical. So it seems so logical that the club announced that it's going to happen to just stop all speculation. It just means that Mourinho is not going to be quizzed on it before the game where he can't really speculate. So fantastic news, just absolutely brilliant news. It's going to be the signing of the summer, and what a statement that we're making.
I tell you what, Martin, I'm just gonna burst everybody's bubble a bit, because it's typical of Manchester United. They give us Pogba and then they put the team news out, and Fellaini does start, and not just Fellaini. I did put this out an hour ago. I had people don't believe we get information. An hour ago, I said I've heard a bad rumour that Lingard and Fellaini are going to start, and it was a very correct rumour. You've got to start listening to the United Stand. I've been right about Pogba for weeks. And an hour ago, way before the team, we tweeted out a bad rumour that Lingard and Fellaini would start. You can check it, it's out there. And unfortunately, I thought it was a joke. It's true. De Gea in goal, Valencia right back, Bailly centre back with Blind and Shaw left back. We probably predicted that, although I would have played Darmian, who doesn't even make the bench. Carrick holding the midfield, I would have predicted that. Herrera would have been my box-to-box. We've gone with Fellaini. Rooney number 10, yeah, predicted that. Martial on the left, yeah, predicted that. Zlatan up front, predicted that. Lingard on the right, never in a million fucking years. I've just sworn. What the hell is going on? Mkhitaryan is on the bench. Rashford's on the bench.
Fellaini's not going to play again after today.
Well, yeah, but the worrying thing is, why the hell have we bought Mkhitaryan and we are playing Lingard on the right? I mean, I agree with you about Fellaini. In fairness to Fellaini, he shouldn't be anywhere near a Manchester United shirt, but there's an important reason why Fellaini probably is playing today. But the Lingard thing is baffling because he's a big game bottler and contradicts the FA Cup final. Didn't have to think about that, he just hit it. When he's got to think about something, a cross or a shot, he tends to overhit it. I'm amazed by that. I mean, we are positive. Let Jose do what he's got to do. Let him learn the mistakes that we all probably know he's going to make around Lingard. But Mkhitaryan should be starting every day of the week. You don't sign a player like that and then leave him on the bench.
Well, let's face it, Mkhitaryan should be starting where Rooney is. So
yeah, well, that's it. I suppose that's a shock in itself.
I don't think he's been left out for Lingard. I think he's going with Lingard over someone else on the right, and I wouldn't play Mkhitaryan on the right anyway. I'd play him where Rooney is. So there's a couple of weird ones there, but I think I wouldn't have had Fellaini and I would have had Herrera in. But if you hear what rumours, if you think that Moyes is after him, they're going to want to give Fellaini minutes so that they can sell him no problem. But basically, it's going to be Carrick and Pogba, isn't it? We do know now what that partnership's going to be. Pogba's going to be our box to box. Fellaini's not going to get a look in anymore. Schneiderlin's going to be back up to Carrick, and Ander Herrera will probably be the one who plays the bit part if Fellaini goes.
We are massively juggling here, and we're loving juggling as well. We're fully aware of hashtag Pogback. We've been live for about 20 minutes. The team news has just hit as well, which is all. It's like two massive punches. It's like a big high five and a kick in the stomach, I suppose, in some ways. But the high five, Martin's spot on about Fellaini. I want to read through the team again because I know some of you are joining us as we go, and please do keep retweeting. We want to get loads of people watching. It's an epic day. It's the best watch along because of you lot, but it's an epic day anyway because we've got Pogba back and we're playing. I didn't do the bench, so I'll run through the team again. De Gea in goal, Valencia right back, Bailly and Blind centre backs, Luke Shaw left back, Carrick holding the midfield. Fellaini, God knows. Box to box, who knows. Planted in the middle of the centre circle. Lingard on the right. Rooney 10. Martial on the left. Ibrahimovic up front. The bench. Interesting again. Romero in goal. The goalkeeping. Rojo, Schneiderlin, Ander Herrera, Mata, Mkhitaryan, Rashford. Straight away you think no Ashley Young. No Memphis. Memphis has got to be thinking. I mean, Mkhitaryan's probably thinking, "What have I done?" Rashford, yeah, probably on the bench. Herrera, I would have played Herrera and Mkhitaryan for Lingard and Fellaini personally. I would have done that. But what I would say to you, Martin, is I've got it on my notes here to discuss it, and then we'll go back and talk about Pogba in a minute. But let's finish the team news. I mean, there's probably some players that I'm not thinking of who've not made the bench. Fosu Mensah, I don't know whether he was fit or not, but would like to have seen him. But I do want to defend something slightly here about Fellaini, which will change when we get Pogba, who's 6'3". When we played Leicester at Old Trafford, and we did a watch along for this last April, there was 10 corners in that game. I think 5 for United and 5 for Leicester. Obviously, we didn't do anything from our corners, but out of those 10 corners, 5 into our box, 5 into theirs, Leicester won 9. They won 9 of them. So they are very dominant with Huth and Wes Morgan. Our defence, centre-backs, are a massive concern anyway. I feel Fellaini may well have been picked to give us some height in the box. That is my theory, and that's why I thought he would play. Leicester are very, very good in the air from set pieces, and Blind isn't, and Bay's raw, and where else is the height in our team? I think Zlatan's going to have to come back as well. So I can justify the Fellaini one just about for that reason.
Yeah, I think the one thing, and I'll probably be shocked for saying this because I'm not a Fellaini fan in any way, but actually under the couple of times I've seen him play for Mourinho, he hasn't been as planted as he normally is. He's getting about on the pitch. Now that is not an indication that I want him to stay. Believe me, he can go for it's a couple of million. I do not care because I don't see him as Man United player, but he has been a totally different player to what we saw under Van Gaal, because Van Gaal just had him planted in midfield or planted, just past the halfway line, and he was just a target man. But he looked all right in a couple of pre-season games, and he got a goal. But looking at the lineup again, I'm surprised. Darmian hasn't come in at right back. He's obviously preferring Valencia. Whether that's because he prefers Valencia's attacking. Valencia's learnt to cross the ball as well during pre-season. We'll soon see if he forgets how to do that in a competitive game. And again, there's no. Am I right? There's no Memphis at all.
Not even on the bench. Not even on the bench.
No Memphis. If that's the case, and you're going with Lingard, you would think we would have another natural winger coming in. I know Mkhitaryan can play there, but there's a like-for-like swap there with Martial, because let's face it, the team hasn't had a very good pre-season. Is he expecting a lot of these players to play 90 minutes still?
Well, you've come out with a good point there, Martin, and I don't think that doesn't surprise me that you've done that, by the way. But he did say he wants to use the squad, and I suppose against Leicester, who probably may not need to use a full squad because I think they've had a decent pre-season, if you play your first team from the start and then you're bringing all your reserves on in the second team, as we've seen in the past, they could get dominated. So maybe Mkhitaryan will. This cannot, for me, be the starting lineup against Bournemouth next week. I don't know whether Pogba will be ready, but Mkhitaryan, you can't sign a player who brings so many assists and so many goals, and he's head and shoulders above most of our lineup. He has to play against Bournemouth, and I can't really justify. The Fellaini one, as I said, everyone knows I don't like Fellaini, but I can understand why he's played today, because Leicester are very good from set pieces and we need some height. But Lingard for Mkhitaryan, baffling. I really am baffled by that one, really am. But let's do a bit about Pogba, because I know that's probably what a lot of people want to talk about. We were live on air about 20 minutes ago, refreshing on the Man United Twitter account for the team news, and we got hashtag Pogback, official announcement on Pogba from the club. I mean, BBC had done it about half an hour before, so it doesn't become any better than that when the BBC say it. But when the club come out and say he's having his medical right now at the Ayton Training Centre, he's going to be a Manchester United player. And I mean, I've given my thoughts on this, Martin. I mean, in relation to transfers, where does this rank for you as a Manchester United fan? And would you ever believe we could have done it? Because the club deserve a lot of applause for that.
Yeah, well, I think if you look at the past two transfer windows, even when we signed Di Maria, I still wasn't that excited. I don't know why it was, I just wasn't. But you put this in your Bale, your Ronaldo, it's that category of signing. We're going to break the world transfer record for a player, which we should be as Man United. It's a signing that even I would have probably put more money on Ronaldo or Bale coming back to Man United than Pogba coming back. And I think that's because a lot of people believe that he was completely done with the club, would have gone for Real Madrid. Now, whether or not he would have gone to Real Madrid if they could have coughed the money, I think if that was the case, if it was a choice of Real Madrid not being able to afford you and no one else coming in, I just think he would have stayed at Juventus. He wouldn't have gone elsewhere. So there's going to be that feeling that he wants to come back here, which, I said for a couple of weeks to all of you guys in the chat, I was saying, look, if he's waiting for Real Madrid to cough up the money, then stay at Juventus. Don't come to us if you don't want to come. And that's the kind of point I'm making. He's coming to us because he's making that decision. Whether or not we can afford him or not, and Juventus want to sell him, there's got to be an element that the player wants to move. So that in itself is exciting, and I think we're going to see a player that we all wanted to see in the first team. 4 or 5 years ago, we wanted to see him break into the squad and become that midfielder that we were missing for so long, because ever since Roy Keane was gone, we've never had that powerhouse in midfield. We've never replaced him. There's many players that have tried to do it, and we just haven't had it. And it's about time to get someone who can put the foot and who can run box to box, give goals, give assists. I think the season when Man City won the league, they had Yaya Toure as their engine in that midfield, and you just saw the difference it brought to the team. And Pogba's age is on his side so much. We're getting a player who hasn't even hit his peak yet. So paying 100 million, yes, people are going to say that we're throwing money at it. But I'm sorry, but in today's current climate, that's the kind of money you've got to pay to get that caliber of player. No other clubs could really afford him. we can, because we have that financial back and we make that amount of money. This isn't money that someone has come in and spent. This is money that this club makes year in, year out from fans, throwing money into the team, throwing money at sponsorships, at shirts, at season tickets. So I don't care what any other clubs come out and say that we're buying the league. We should have been buying this calibre of player for the past 10 years if the Glazers hadn't been throwing debt after debt after debt at our club. So
yeah.
I just think that it's that all the fans deserve it, the club deserve it. So
yeah,
I'm over the moon. I'm absolutely over the moon.
Yeah, well, you hit the nail on the head there again. I mean, you do deserve it as fans. You've enjoyed, we've only been doing the United Stand for just over 18 months, and it's been a bad 18 months. And the Moyes era that before that wasn't much better. But Martin's right. We have got the money. We don't need to worry about what anyone's going to say. I always felt in relation to Pogba that I was gutted that we sold him, really gutted, because I saw him for the youth, but also in that last season he came on against Stoke, I think it was Stoke, and he ran that midfield, and we let him go, and it was really sad. But we've got, I'm amazed, I'm absolutely amazed by it. I think it's such a good signing, but he's worth £60 million. Alex Wu saying waste of money buying Pogba. He's not worth £100 million, but what we've done here is gone and said, right, we need to make a statement. This statement there's no bigger statement than this. No right to do it at all. No Champions League football, nowhere near the league. A player we let go for next to nothing. No right to do the deal. Full applause to Woodward, Marino, everybody involved in it. It is absolutely superb business. But we've gone, and the winter is coming, things very important. Real Madrid and Barcelona used to be able to bully us. We've bullied them. Don't have no illusions about that. We've bullied them. We've gone and gone. He's worth 60. There's 100. Who wants to come and play on our table? And nobody wants to. Real Madrid, they're bartering with the relegated Newcastle for Sissoko. Nobody has been in this deal. I understand why some United fans have been nervous because it's gone on for a few weeks. But United have been able to play that relaxed. How does it suit you, Adidas? How does it suit you, Pogba? Have your holiday? Because nobody else has been able to come to this table because it's been tied up with the player for at least a month. At least a month. We knew it was a £30 million deal. We knew that Raiola was going to get about 20 million because United went and sorted this out a long time ago. It was all about grinding Juventus down. And as if Juventus are going to turn down £100 million for a player who's probably worth 60. But we could never go in at 60 because Real Madrid would have gone, there's 62. And then you lose the battle. You've got to go in massively high where no one else wants to go. So even if Pogba thought, I would probably prefer to go to Real Madrid and Barcelona, they're never on the table for him to even consider it. It's never there. And that's the brilliance of it. But as a player, Martin, I suppose, while Martin answers this, tell me what you think about the Pogba deal, because I want to take a lot of comments on this on the comment section. But where does Pogba play for you, Martin?
Well, I think if you look where he played for Juventus, he almost played in the hole, didn't he? He played just in front of the hole in midfield. But obviously we've got Rooney that occupies that space, and then you've got Ibrahimovic up front. So to me, if we play Carrick holding, and then you almost play like a 3 midfield, and then Rooney pushes up that little bit further, almost next to Ibrahimovic, to allow Pogba to actually get in on the attack. I don't want him playing how Deschamps had him for France, because they played 2 holding, and I just don't think Pogba got to stretch his legs enough and actually got to join in with the attack. So I think Mourinho is going to have to, if he's going to use him to his best, I think Mourinho is going to have to slightly change the way that he's set up, because Mourinho likes to have 2 holding midfielders. Now, whether that means Pogba in when we're playing defensive, Pogba does drop in with Carrick, but I think in attack he has to allow Pogba to bomb on, and whether that means Blind sort of pushes up a little bit further, or one of the centre backs just pushes out a little bit further into where next to Michael Carrick, and we go to almost like a back 3 when we attack. I just think that's where we're going to get the best out of him, because there's no point in spending that amount of money to have him sitting as a holding midfielder and letting him join in every now and then. He's got to be driving, pushing the forward 3 players up with him, because if he's driving forward, you've got the likes of Martial, Ibrahimovic, Rooney, and hopefully Mkhitaryan, if he is going to come in there, all playing into that creative strength, and then Pogba just adds that bit more. And I hate to compare it to it, but it is the way that sort of, the likes of Yaya Toure, they get the best out of him when he's driving the team forward, because he gives the team the legs to actually push on. So that to me is his best position, and I think when you've got Rooney has to now push on a bit further. I think that allows Rooney to get into the box a bit more because he's going to have the legs behind him with Pogba.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the team news in a minute because we are not too far away from kick-off, but have no illusions again that Manchester City, Chelsea, forget Liverpool. Liverpool would love Lingard, let alone Pogba. But Manchester City, Chelsea, Arsenal definitely, Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, any team in the world would want Pogba. They can all go, oh, it's too much money or anything like that. They would love it. And as Martin said there are similarities between what Yaya Toure does for Man City and what Pogba will do for Manchester United, although they are very, very different players. Pogba has got... I don't think a lot of Man United fans actually know what Pogba will bring, because I don't think we saw the best of him in the Euros, and unless you've watched him consistently for Juventus over the last few years in the Champions League and in Serie A, you won't know. He's a player who runs at players. He's a player who's got a very... he's very skillful. He can run at players. He's got a good range of passing. He's very good in the air, he's very physical, he's very strong, he's very fast, but also he can put a tackle in as well, and he's got a venomous shot from distance. So he will offer lots of things, because we've seen Manchester United from the last 3 years messing around with the ball 30 yards out, passing it side to side to side. Pogba will just hit it. He will have a go, and he is very good at that. We thought we'd sign somebody in Memphis capable of doing that, and unfortunately it's just not worked out. However, Pogba isn't in a way, he's Premier League proven for me, Martin, because I know he's really gone off and been on loan at Juventus and developed, but he's schooled in the Premier League. He was here since I think 15 or 16. He left when he was probably about 19, but he's come through the youth. He knows what the English game's all about, and I think he will adapt to it. But you're spot on. He cannot be used as a defensive midfielder because it just doesn't work. But Deschamps just like Van Gaal. Red Wazzle says, can we do the winter is coming speech? We will do that. That will come. But we want to start sort of focus on Pogba and this game as well. And then Martin was just going to say something.
I think the best way you can describe him is he will stretch. He will stretch the opposition teams. They won't know how to pick him up. That's what when he's playing in his best position. And he's allowed that freedom. He is very hard to pick up and he's very hard to stop. If he's given that freedom, he's absolutely lethal. If anybody's watched him for Juventus, he's got fantastic feet as well for a tall player. He's got fantastic feet, very skillful, and he's just so strong on the ball, going forward and with his back to goal. So he's just, he's everything that we've needed. And like you say, putting a tackle in, having him and Ibrahimovic in a team. The power in those two players is just phenomenal.
Yes, I've got to talk a bit about the team now. There's a few people on Twitter saying to do that. Just to let you know, Paul and Joey were messaging in our message group saying that they're not concerned about the team. Joey was saying that there is no way we will sign the Bundesliga Player of the Year and then not use him for Lingard. And Paul also saying that this is all about giving people minutes because our pre-season hasn't been ideal. I hope there's some truth in that. But for the lineup, for those who have joined us slightly late, we've got De Gea in goal, Valencia right back, no Darmian. He's another one, Martin, not involved. Valencia right back, Luke Shaw left back, Blind and Bailly centre backs. I mean, straight away in that back four, we've got two people who aren't specialists, and that goes against what Jose said 4 weeks ago. Baffling. Carrick as a holding midfielder, Fellaini box to box. I think he's playing for his height. Rooney number 10. We would be quite critical of that. I think I might have lost Martin for a moment there. Maybe I did. Let's see if we can get him back. Yeah, hopefully we'll come back in. If this was a Louis van Gaal kick-off, he's back now. Yeah, what I was saying, Martin, is if this was a Louis van Gaal lineup, I think we would be quite critical of it. And, I'm a massive fan of Van Gaal. Not Van Gaal, God, get my words out. I'm a massive fan of Jose. I think he's the right man. But, there's no issues with having a go at him. I mean, John Ayarte, very consistent. He's saying, again, down the right, we are absolutely a joke with Valencia and Lingard. But it's all about next Sunday against Bournemouth. I wanted to see a first team. I don't know whether this is the first team. I suspect it may well be because I don't think Pogba's going to be ready for Bournemouth. But no Memphis, no Darmian. Is that the end for them?
I hope it's not the end for Memphis, to be honest. I just think that there is something in him. There is that raw ability in him, and I just think, if he's not going to even get the bench today, then it's a bit worrying. But what I'll say is I'll trust Mourinho to make that decision. I'll give him plenty of time before I'm critical of him, and if he's putting players in today to give them minutes, then fair enough. We'll judge him on his results and how he does over the coming season. I mean, a lot of people, similar to the Schweinsteiger thing, a lot of people have really criticised Mourinho for it. Fair enough, yes, he's won the World Cup. He's an absolute German legend, and I was so happy when we signed him. But he was a Van Gaal signing. Mourinho didn't sign him. Mourinho doesn't have to give anyone favouritism because of what they've done in the past. If Mourinho makes the decision that he is not for them, then I think fans probably have to give that bit of respect to the manager coming in. Van Gaal cut a lot of players in that first year that some people weren't happy about, but ultimately it's that manager's decision. Darmian, I think out of all three, if you think Schweinsteiger, Memphis, Darmian, three players that Van Gaal brought in last year, Darmian's probably the one I'm more worried about because we don't have a right back. We don't have a natural right back, and we're playing Valencia, who we all know can barely cross a ball, and it was caught over the past 2 years that Van Gaal put him in defence. The amount of times he was caught out of position and either caused us to go a goal down, lose possession, or give free kicks away in dangerous areas. Why are we not playing a natural right back in the right back position? Why are we playing a poor right winger? I know they say that a lot of right backs are basically failed right wingers, but that one baffles me. Unless he's just playing Valencia because he knows that he's sick of Darmian and he's going to bring another right back in. So why play Darmian in that position? That to me, that was more worrying than the Memphis and Schweinsteiger one.
Yeah, let's get on to the Leicester game because a few people want to talk about that. Ryan Allen says our team's spine is lethal. De Gea, Pogba, Mickey, Zlatan. Well, two of those aren't playing in this game, so it's difficult to know where we're going to be. What I would say is, to those who think this isn't our starting lineup against Bournemouth, don't underestimate the fact that it probably is, because Jose doesn't mess around. He doesn't want to start the season slow. He wants to get the points on the board fast. And maybe these players are the fittest players he's got, who knows. But I would have massive concerns about any team that's got Daley Blind at centre-back, Valencia at right-back, Lingard at right wing, and Fellaini as box-to-box. For me, that team is a team that's battling for fourth place. And the sooner he resolves those issues, which obviously signing Pogba will, the better. A few people are saying, what's the score prediction? Glitch X Gamer 2123. For those who've joined us for the watch-along, I think there's about 2,500 of you watching at the moment. Please share it on social media. Let's get as many people watching as we can. The game will kick off in half an hour. The way the watch-along will work is the timer will start on the blue bit there as soon as the game starts. And what I'm looking for from you lot is something, your thoughts on the game. Give us some thoughts on what how it's going, what players are playing well, where you think things are going right, where you think things are going wrong as the game goes on, what substitutions you'd be making. That's why we enjoy the watch-alongs, really, is to get some real insight from what you, the fans, are thinking, because obviously that's what the United Stand's all about. Chris Goddard saying United 3-1. I'm going to ask Martin now what his prediction is, but I would go Leicester. But Leicester won the league last year by being the underdog and confounding the critics, and the only player they've lost is Kante. They've bought a couple of players that I know little bits about, but they're good signings. They are very good in the air, they are very well organised, and they fight like it's their last meal. So I fully expect that to continue. And I look at our 11 and I'm not overly excited by what that 11... They could totally prove us wrong, and I hope they do, but I'm going to go with 2-2. I don't know what you think, Martin.
Well, on the Galatasaray watch-along, I think I said that we would get a couple of goals and we definitely wouldn't concede, and we conceded 2 goals. So, I think yes, there was a lot of good individuals for Leicester last year. Leicester didn't have, I don't even think they had one major injury last year. They managed to keep the same squad of players throughout the season, which is a huge thing. Vardy was unbelievable for the start of the season. I think losing Kante takes a hell of a lot out of that team in terms of them winning the ball back and attacking quickly. There's still goals in their team. There's still a threat with Mahrez and Vardy in the team. So I do think that I feel that Leicester will cause us problems. I think that they will even potentially score. But I think I have quite a bit of confidence in the team that we've got at the minute. So I think I'll go maybe 2-1 United. I think it'll be close. I think it'll either be 1-0 or 2-1, something like that.
Okay, so I've gone 2-2. I know Martin's going to go in a minute and Dan's going to come in for the watch-along. For those who've not seen Dan before, he'll be in for the watch-along with me. Didn't manage to talk about it as much as I wanted to. The one area for the watch-along for you lot, that for me, that I'm really looking at is Rooney, which we've discussed quite a lot before, but the centre-backs, I'm amazed that Jose Mourinho has always built his teams on having good, strong centre-back partnerships. Whatever you think about Blind, I've always said you won't win a title with Daley Blind as your centre-back for the whole season, because he's not a centre-back for me. He's a very good utility centre-back, but he'll make mistakes. He's a better left-back for me. So we're starting the season with Blind and Bailly, obviously, because Smalling doesn't play next week. Not even on the bench today. He could have played today, but he's suspended for next week. So we've got a young player who, as I always say, Vidic took 6 months to get used to the Premier League. This is a young, raw, very good-looking centre-back, not looks-wise, but the skills-wise. So we've got him and Blind as our centre-backs, and I have concerns, but in some ways it's a perfect game to test them out. I mean, do you share those concerns, or do you think we'll be all right for the start of the season?
I think the word is raw with Bailly. I think there's a mistake in him. I think there's a bit of panic in him. He's looked really good in pre-season, don't get us wrong, but I think some defenders, when they come to the Premier League, they underestimate the speed of the Premier League and the speed of the attack. And I think we saw that with Rojo when he first came through, and I think he was playing centre back with Smalling. He made a couple of rash decisions. But I think with Blind, obviously I'm stuck in the past. Mourinho will have had a look, and Rojo and Jones are both fit, who are natural centre backs, and he's going for Blind. And you've got to think that Mourinho's seen enough centre backs to make that decision. Is that he Blind, Jones, and Rojo, because that's Rojo's natural position, would be where Blind is. But what happens when Smalling comes back? Is it going to be Blind and Smalling again? Or is it going to be Bailly and Smalling? I think that's the bigger question, because I don't think Rojo and Jones are going to get a look at all. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Jones goes and Rojo stays as the sort of backup. We may still sign another centre back. There's still loads of time in the market, but I think he is putting a bit of trust in Blind, and there was so many rumours that he was going to be off to Barcelona. So I actually think Blind had a really good season last year. And I actually think he's too slow to play left back when you compare him to Shaw. Yes, he had a good couple of games in Van Gaal's first season, those last 6 or 7 games when Shaw was injured again. So if you were asking me which centre backs we would have, I would go Blind, Smalling, and Bailly as our 3 main ones, and then one backup, which would be Rojo.
Yeah, it is interesting that for those who don't know, I'll run through the team again. We have to do this quite a lot on a watch along. De Gea in goal, Valencia right back, Shaw left back, Bailly and Blind, as we were just talking about, their centre backs, and you would expect them to play against Bournemouth next week because Chris Smalling is out injured. No, he's not injured, he's suspended. You then got Carrick holding the midfield, Fellaini box to box, Rooney number 10, Lingard on the right, Martial on the left, and Zlatan up front. But the interesting thing is no Phil Jones on the bench, Rojo's on there, no Memphis on the bench, Mkhitaryan's on there, and no Darmian on the bench at all. So, Jones was somebody we thought probably was going to get favoured by. There was even talk of him being the first choice centre-back, which was ridiculous. That's not the case. But I am surprised. I really do think we're going to sign Fabinho. We were right about Pogba. I was right about Fellaini and Lingard starting an hour before the game. If you want the next early tip, I think we'll sign Fabinho. Been saying that for a few weeks now. I think Darmian's finished. I think it's really sad. I think Jose could have put some effort in with him and turned him into the right back he was at the start of last season quite comfortably. I think it's a shame, but I think he's finished at United. If we're playing Valencia there, then he's finished, isn't he? So I think we will sign Fabinho, and he's obviously a client of George Mendes, who is Marino's agent, and we've not signed anybody from him yet. So there we go.
There is the option as well that you might keep Darmian as backup to left back.
Yeah, maybe.
And then sign Fabinho, and then probably have Valencia. What I was just thinking there when you're talking about Phil Jones potentially being like a first starter, for me, I think Phil Jones has missed the boat on his sort of development. I think he's had too many injuries over the past 2 or 3 years that he's missed that development that you would have at the very highest level where you've got to be playing every game. I think in the later part of your career as a defender, you probably can have those injuries and come back. I just think that he's now going to be like a mid-table player, and you'll
some breaking news, Martin.
Where he goes, but
just a bit of breaking news that you might want to react to before you go. Pogba's done a tweet, as per usual. It's very cryptic, and it is. This was a few minutes ago, literally 4 minutes ago. When too many people talk, nobody understands. Zip the mouth. Talk very soon. I'm sure that will send United fans into meltdown in some ways, but my interpretation of that is quite simple, that he's just not saying anything until he's signed. However, Manchester United have announced he's having a medical, and the BBC have as well, so that's it. You don't need to go into any meltdowns now about Real Madrid.
It might be the case that the amount of report, because there was reports where they were saying, oh, he's definitely going back to Juventus, he might stay at Juventus, or he's going elsewhere. Or it could be the fact that he might be getting criticism himself for going back to the club who got rid of him. Yeah.
I'm sure he will have his say on it, won't he? I'm just reading through some of the messages here. I'm sure you're going to shoot off, Martin, now, but thanks for coming on again. I think it works quite well, splitting it up in the first bits, but quite an epic show to come on, and obviously with Pogba. Your score prediction, what was it again?
2-1
to United.
Yeah, I think Martial and Ibrahimovic goals.
Good. Well, that's positive. He was wrong last time, though. He said Galatasaray wouldn't score. But speak to you soon, Martin. Yeah. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Yeah. Okay, speak to you soon.
Cheers, pal. So, Martin's gone there. We will get Dan on for the watch-along in a minute. Obviously, Dan will probably be here any second, but I just want to remind you that it's massively about you on the comments section. Definitely for the game. Midfield too slow, says Terry 11235. Pogba, what a troll, says Amster. Somebody's here from Indonesia, Mohammed. Rayuk 008 says, I think Man United will win 2-0. Pog boom, says Atra. I like this, says Najam, which is great. I think we're just about to be joined by Dan. Dan, the man. Can you hear me, Dan?
Yep. You hear me?
A bit quiet for some reason. I don't know why that is. Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. Hear me?
No, very, very quiet. I don't know what that's all about. United Stand Army. That sounded like it might have been a bit better. Let me see if I can sort something out on Skype.
I'll just pause for live video now, so
we will hopefully have Dan with you in a moment. I just need to try and understand why. Let's kill that. Not kill that. Call audio settings. We should be able to hear. I've got everything set up perfect. Talk again, Dan.
how about now?
No, really, really cannot hear you at all. It's really, really, really quiet.
We had this all set up earlier. Does that sound better?
No, you're just really quiet. I mean, let me just see if anyone in the live comments. It might just be me. Is everyone else hearing Dan quiet or loud? Just let me know while we are live, because it might just be something to do with mine. Hopefully not. Anybody can hear Dan? Stop to drink. Mark Dab. You're all talking about Try ending the. It's his earphones. Somebody says. Try ending the call and coming back. Live TV. Live TV. I hope he can come. I hope he can come back because I don't want to do it all on my own. Hello.
How about, hello.
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Thank you.
Cool. So,
Hey.
yeah, we've got you now. That's great. Winter is here. Quiet. Right. Okay, we've got him back. That's the great thing. The way the Watchalong will work, I was just saying before Dan there. Blue box in front of me. When the game kicks off, synced in with the time. There's probably a slight delay because you're always going to get that with a live stream. So just pause whatever you're watching and sync in with us. You've got your live comments to my left. You've got Dan, obviously, with the game with us as well. But what I want from this game, there's two things for me personally, which I'm watching. I always give a couple of things that you can think about as well because I want to know what you're thinking of the game. That's the sort of thing we're going to be reading out. And definitely want to know that sort of thing. Also, the two things I'm looking for are the centre-back partnerships because Leicester are so very strong in the air, which I think is why we've playing Fellaini. And also Rooney. He's got to improve his short-term passing because he's got to feed Martial and Zlatan. Lingard to a certain extent. I hoped it was going to be Mkhitaryan, but that's what I would go with. Dan, give us your thoughts on Pogba first of all. What's your thoughts on that? Finally done.
Oh, mate, I can show you my thoughts on that.
I was on the champagne. Look, is it champagne or?
Nah, Prosecco. I've got to be a bit cheap. I've got to buy 3 Pogba kits now, so I thought I'd buy a Prosecco. Nah, absolutely buzzing. I couldn't believe it. I think, okay, the more important thing is to focus on this match, but Pogba coming back. I was getting a bit of itchy feet the last few days. I knew he was coming, but I was just getting a bit itchy. But now, absolutely buzzing. This is going to be a hashtag Pog back. Hashtag United Stand was right.
Yeah, I'm still getting a few people who are having a bit of problems with your audio, even though I can hear you really well. So I'm just going to try something else again, see if that will help.
Yeah, because I've plugged it into directly into my router, so hopefully it should be super fast now.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do to turn your volume up there at your end, is there? Or maybe try.
Yeah, actually, I could. Let me try one thing. I could try and plug in a direct mic.
Yeah, that might help.
Because that's what we used earlier.
Audio is okay. I think it's going to be fine anyway. So the team news for those who want to wear. Yeah, it's going to be fine, Dan. Don't worry about it. It's De Gea in goal, Valencia right back, Luke Shaw left back, Blinden Bay centre backs, Carrick holding the midfield, Fellaini box to box, Rooney number 10, Lingard on the right, and Martial on the left, Zlatan up front. No Memphis on the bench, no Darmian on the bench, no Phil Jones on the bench. Rojo's on the bench, Romero's on the bench obviously, Schneiderlin, Herrera, Mata, Rashford, Mkhitaryan. So no, what's the soonest comment? Somebody just said there's a comment about Shashank Chowdhury saying there's a comment from Souness about Pogba. I presume it's some sort of bitter comment, which we're not going to worry too much about. Look, the reality is this signing of Pogba is brilliant. For those who are joining us now, it's official. The club have announced he's having a medical. The BBC have announced he's having a medical for 5 weeks behind the United stand. But it was always going to happen. Very relaxed about it. But let's enjoy it after the game. I think maybe on the Sunday show tonight more. But we had no right to make this signing. We had no right to do it. We made a mistake letting him go in the first place. I never thought the club, and I applaud the club for this deal, would ever have the balls or financial muscle really to just go and blow Real Madrid and Barcelona out the water, put £100 million on the table and say who's going to go head to head with us of that, because Real Madrid never could. So winter's come. I predicted that a year ago. I will be doing a video about that, but also applaud the club, Woodward, Marino, everyone involved in the club, and allow it to happen really, because we have no right to do it. We've got no Champions League football. He is one of the best players in world football, certainly the best midfielders, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. I really do. But where would you pick him? Where would you play him? Would you play him number 10, defensive midfielder, box to box? Dan, where would you play him?
Pogba.
Yeah.
Box to box. 100%. I think with our current squad and the way we're set up, he's key for box to box. I mean, I mentioned it on a couple of shows ago. In the future, I would like to see him in a more advanced role, number 10. I don't think he's a defensive midfielder. I think he'd be wasted there. Current squad, box to box, for me, and I think right now we're missing that bite, that real bite and aggression in that box to box position. We've been missing it for years, and I think he's really going to plug that this year.
And just very quickly, Dan, I mean, you've seen the lineup there. Have you got any concerns that is going to be the lineup now? You know, Lingard, what's he doing there? And obviously, what's his face as well? What's his face? Fellaini. I mean, Pogba's going to come into the team, isn't he? He can't be on the bench. But then again, Mkhitaryan is the player of the year, isn't he? So
I think Lingard's there for minutes. Nothing more than that. I seriously think he's there for minutes. Jose's probably thought, you know what, he scored in the FA Cup final. You know, he might have a little bit of he might have quite a high boost for this game. So just throw him in early, give him some minutes. Fellaini, I honestly think Fellaini's playing today purely for shop window value, and that's it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because Pogba's the club's announced it now. Pogba is coming, and Fellaini can't start in the midfield with Pogba there. It's going to be Pogba and Carrick, clearly. So I think Fellaini's window. Hopefully someone bids for him next week.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, what I would say about Fellaini is that the Leicester, and I'm repeating that for some people who would have joined us new, I know, when we played Leicester last year, and they didn't even try that hard because they were they'd already effectively won the league, and we had a chance to get top four, and typically Van Gaal ruined it. But there was 10 corners in that game, and even though Leicester weren't totally up for it, and they didn't have Vardy, out of the 10 corners, I think it was 5 in our half and 5 in theirs. They won 9 corners, and I think our centre-backs are really going to feel the pressure today. They're under the microscope. I'm amazed that Jose hasn't sorted out a new centre-back, because he always builds a team on a good centre-back partnership. I think he's picked Fellaini today because we need to be better from crosses, and it's sad, but Pogba will be the solution to that, because he is 6'3" and he can play football, unlike Fellaini. I think Fellaini's in the team today to just offer some physicality and be decent in the box. That's what my hope and thought is, and I really hope Dan's right that he's putting himself in the shop window as well, because it would be superb to get rid of him. But he serves a purpose. We need a bit of height in there. What's your score predictions, Dan? Because we are only 10 minutes off.
3-2 for me. I think. Again, I'm really worried about this defence. I think Jose will get it sorted. I think he really wants this. I think this Pogba deal was annoying him as much as it was annoying us. So I think once that's wrapped up, he will get another defence centre back in, another right back in, because Valencia can't be our first choice right back. And the way that he's using him, it clearly shows that Darmian isn't his first choice. So I think we're going to get another centre back, another right defensive player. So for me, 3-2. We're going to concede a few goals, but I can see us winning it.
I tell you what, I'm not going to be negative. I could be negative about quite a lot of things. I'm sad about Darmian. I think he's finished. I really thought Jose could have got the best out of him. I expect him to be sold. I think we will sign Fabinho. I've been saying that for a long time from Monaco, and I really think that's going to happen now. Mad Marcus on the live comments is our moderator. He's saying, can we get 1,000 likes on the video before the game starts? You've got 9 minutes. Hit that like button. Let's see if we can do it. And I just want to say again, United Stand Army, you never let us down. There's over 3,000 people watching. I know we had 9,000 the other week. I don't know what went wrong that day. But I think over 3,000 is fantastic. Please keep sharing it. Let's see how high we can go. But drop us a like. Let's whack it over 1,000. That's great. And absolutely love Jeffrey. I was actually having a little look at that, if I'm totally honest. But he knows what I'm on about. But yeah, absolutely superb. And just keep liking it, sharing it, and get involved in the watch-alongs, and we will keep doing them. Really enjoy them. So we've got the live comments set up. We've got Dan set up. We've got the scores. You'll have to keep reminding me about the score. I always forget that, especially when Manchester United score. But I really want to see what you lot are looking out for in this game. And as the game develops, who you think's doing well, there is me and Dan here, but when we're talking at half time and full time about who's played well, who hasn't, I want to see what you're thinking on the comments as well. I want to know where you think things are going wrong or right, what's concerning you. We've got 6 minutes to go, says Mohammed Majid. That's right. The United ain't got a fan like Heavy D, says Luke O'Toole. Darmian too weak for the APL, says Ahmed. Yeah, maybe. But I've just remembered something I haven't set up, Dan. So I'm going to give you a minute or so. I've just said Darmian's finished. Where's Memphis? Yeah. Where's Memphis? What are your thoughts on Memphis?
I'm worried. I like Memphis a lot, and that's gonna anger a lot of people. I really have faith in him to come good this season. The only thing I can think of is I don't even know what to say. To be honest, I'm pretty worried because he's not injured. I don't think he's injured. If he's injured, they would have said something.
No, he's not injured. He's just not made the squad.
Yeah, so my whole thing is it that he said to Memphis, look, don't worry about it in my plans. I just want to get a few other guys out there. I don't know. I think I'm grabbing at straws, mate. I'm a bit worried, to be fair.
I'm just running the timer there, just so people wondering what I'm doing. Just running the timer there because I'd forgotten to turn it on. I've turned it off now, and basically when the game starts for us, we'll start that there. So sink yourselves in. Pause it. At the end of the day, unless you're down the pub or anything like that, what does it matter to pause it for 20 seconds and sink in with the United stand? The players are starting to come out on the tunnel now. Yep. Substitutions there. No surprise to see Mata on the bench. Rashford. Surprised to see Mkhitaryan on the bench, I must admit, but there we go. I don't know whether you saw my tweet, Dan, and now before the game. I said there's a bad rumour that both Fellaini and Lingard would start. I tell you what, these United stand sources, they're after the Embolo sacking, they're doing the business. To be fair, I mean, I wasn't happy when I got that news an hour before the game, but an hour before the teams were announced. But they were spot on. To be fair, we've been spot on about Pogba, so there will be no deactivating the United stand account like some people were hoping. I think that the Pogba deal would collapse. Trust, you don't get it right all the time, but we've got it right a hell of a lot this summer, and a lot of you've stood by us, so that's absolutely superb. We nearly hit 4,000 people watching there. Share it on social media and absolutely everything. That would be great to do that. But the teams are coming out. We don't show the game live for anybody. I don't think anybody ever asks that anymore, but we obviously can't show the game live. That's not how it works. It's a watch-along. You watch the game however you want to watch it, or if you can't watch the game, we'll give you as much as we can do about what's going on in the game. And we really want to interact with you, what your thoughts are. And just before we do go live, we've got 5 minutes still anyway. Whack it into the comments. I always like to do this. Exactly where, and don't forget to subscribe to the United Stand. It's free anyway. But where are you watching from? As people saying from Indonesia. I love the dedication of Manchester United fans, because we've had this ever since we started the United Stand. Obviously, I'm not from Manchester, Dan isn't, and a lot of the lads aren't. And you get a bit of arrogance, you're not from Manchester, etc. I've spoken to a lot of people doing the United Stand. Some of you may email me, some we have Skype chats and all sorts. And I know there's people in Malaysia, Australia, Mexico, America, who it will be the middle of the night or early in the morning you've got up to watch that. And what's more dedication, the Manchester fan who goes down the road to watch Manchester United play, or the fan from India who gets up at ridiculous o'clock in the morning to watch a game? The truth is, there is no difference. We all support the club, and there is no difference at all. But it does wind me up when people say if you're not from Manchester, you don't matter. I mean, we've got Denmark, Australia, Nepal, New Zealand, America, Ireland, Scotland, Stockport, Bangalore, Tampa, Florida. Someone's watching from hell. That was last season. We're in heaven now. India, Indonesia, Birmingham, New Zealand, 3 a.m. in New Zealand. I mean, that's just amazing. That's Mike Doherty. I think we've proved our point. South Africa, Ghana, Norway, Iceland, Arabia Saudi, California, Ghana, Florida. I mean, some of these places I actually wish I was there. It's obviously a better climate than where I am. But Hong Kong, America. Just keep sharing the video. Keep getting involved with the United Stand. It is always, always, always about you lot. And we'd be nothing without you. And we're everything with you. And it's flying there. So right. That little test was done on purpose, as Sir Bobby Charlton is shaking everybody's hand and loving the new kit. That was a little test there. You're all able to type where you're coming from. So during the second half, I want, first half, Give us your thoughts on the game, even if it's taking you a little bit of time. We will read them. I know there's a lot of you commenting, but we'll try and get through as many of them as possible. But even if we don't read them, everybody else is reading them and interacting as well. So really want to know who you think's doing well, what your concerns are with the tactics, and have no doubts. I mean, I'll say this to you, Dan. Leicester, I was saying to Martin, I still think people think Leicester are crap. They're the Premier League champions. We're only there because we won the FA Cup in extra time. Wasn't it? So they are the league champions. They're there on merit. They did it over 38 games. They have got Vardy this time. I think it's going to be a huge test for us because they don't take any prisoners and they only know one way to play, and that's effort, and that's something United really did lack. Dan, you still there? Dan? Oh, we've got no sound now. Don't know why that just suddenly cut off. Hope everyone can hear me. No, totally gone. 2 minutes to kick off. Might have to kill it and start again. Oh, he's back now. Oh no, that's me.
Hang on.
Oh no, I can hear you now.
Yeah, it's just, what is going on? I think it's just blame on Fellaini.
Yeah. Why is Lingard starting over Mkhitaryan? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, I'll change the setting. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say now.
I haven't done the Leicester lineup, but it's a strong lineup. Morgan, Huth, Simpson, Mahrez, Drinkwater, King, Ozaki, Vardy, Albrighton. Obviously, they haven't got Kante anymore, but they've got Mendy, who's on their bench, who's a decent player. It's a strong Leicester sign-up. It's a strong Leicester side. They played Barcelona the other night as well. I don't know what the score was.
3-2. Musa scored 2. They were losing 2-0. Musa came back and scored 2, I think, and then it was 3-2. But this game of pre-season, it was not even pre-season anymore. But this is Jose's hardest game as Man United manager. I can't understand how many people are taking Leicester for a joke. They're not. They are the champions for a reason. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park because how he was playing against Everton the other day, and even at obviously Dortmund and that, we're still not that. We've still got an LBG hangover. Even Jose can see that as well. So I think it's still going to be quite tricky, to be fair.
Yeah, we are very, very close to the kickoff. One thing I didn't ask you, Dan, is do you think this is his starting lineup for Bournemouth, or do you think he's just sharing it out to give some people some minutes?
I think it's more or less there. I think the only person to come in now is Mkhitaryan, and Fellaini will be out, and yeah, I think it's just Fellaini and Mkhitaryan. So I'll drop Lingard out, and Mkhitaryan will come on, and Fellaini for Pogba. I think that's it.
Okay.
The people saying Pogba ain't going to play. Pogba's keeping himself fit. People think, he's not going to be match fit. He's keeping himself fit.
Okay, I'm just going to send a tweet out. Dan's gone with what was your score prediction, Dan? I forgot.
3-2.
3-2. I've gone 2-2. I think Martin went 2-1. Get commenting out there, and we'll give you some of ours in a moment. It's virtually kick-off. I will get the timer up as well. And we're settling in for what I would say is the start of a new era. It's the start of a new era. I don't want to send that out as a tweet. I've gone on the wrong stream there. You wouldn't believe what stream I was just about to retweet there, because I was accidentally... Well, I wasn't accidentally. I was being a bit nosy looking at their stream. And I'd nearly tweeted theirs out. that probably would have done them some good.
Yeah.
Right, everybody, I'm going to take your comments now. I just need to start the kickoff as well. There's the referee. Where are we? Oh, God, you have to flick through so much doing this job. It's always a pleasure, never a chore. 2-0 says Christian Castri Joe. Don't know who you're talking about. D Ghost 3-1 United. Lewis Fry 5-40 United. I think we'd all love that, Lewis. Absolutely. But we're about to kick off. This is where it starts for me. This is our first proper game against the champions. Let's see how we go. let's be critical. It's time to be critical. It's time to be positive, and it is off. It is off like a bottle of pop, and hopefully the time has kicked in as well. So just sink in with us. Pause it if you're watching at home on your own or on your laptop or however. Surely it's better to be synced in with 4,000 United fans. It's like our own game when you watch or watch along. So get involved with it. Give us your thoughts on the game. And United currently on the ball. Another important position as well, Carrick. Carrick's a bit of a divider, I know, but he's the best player we've got to take the ball off the back four, dictate the play. He makes the team feel confident, and obviously we've stuck. Schweinsteiger's another one who's got no future, so Carrick's the best one for me. Jimmy's saying it's a special occasion. Let's have a drink and enjoy it. We will enjoy it, definitely. What I would say is that I think we'll talk about it a little bit more at half time. Is that we know Schweinsteiger's gone. It's Darmian and Memphis gone. Nice little flick there by Zlatan. Obviously Lingard's playing. We're just on the edge of the box at the moment. I'll be honest, it doesn't fill me with excitement, Valencia and Lingard running down the right wing, but it does excite me that we've just spent £100 million on Pogba and he'll be in the team soon. So I think I'll be amazed if we're going to start playing fast-flowing football, because I still think there's 3 or 4 players in that 11 that shouldn't be and won't be in it long term. We're very static in the midfield, which somebody had said before. Carrick's got no pace, neither has Fellaini. And Rooney's not the quickest. So we need to utilise Lingard and Martial a lot in the flanks. But already, Dan, you can see, Vardy especially, but Leicester, what they did last season, biting into the tackle.
Yeah, straight away. They're constantly biting in. I think Leicester's they're going to surprise a lot of people this season. I think, obviously, they won't win the title again, I don't think, but they're going to be just as good. I was thinking about something today actually. They've kept hold 2 out of 3 of their best players last season. That's a huge thing for them. I'm just looking at our play now. I'm just thinking, you know what? I hate Fellaini so much. I really do. I can't.
You've come to the right place.
He has no position and awareness. I just can't stand him. Just lumbering around the field.
Well, what I'm going to say now is, though, whatever the result today, I will not be jumping on either bandwagon, and I would implore any United fan, I don't think a United stand watcher would do it anyway, but I'm not jumping on the bandwagon that we're going to win the league, or the bandwagon that Jose's a crap manager and whatever. I think I think this is the first game that matters. I think it's a real test. I think Leicester will be up for it, but there's a lot to be learnt from this game today. But as I said, I don't think this is going to be our starting lineup anyway. Whether Jose thinks it is or it isn't, he will learn that you cannot win the title with Valencia at right back, David Lind at centre back, Fellaini in the midfield and Lingard on the right. You can't win a title with those 4 teams. They're good squad players, I'll totally agree with that, but you can't win a title that way. So I won't be jumping on a bandwagon either way. What I want to see is a bit more commitment, because we'll need that against Leicester, a bit more expression in our play, and we need to totally get rid of that Rooney testimonial, because it was absolutely awful.
Yep, absolutely pathetic.
Just going to read this to you, Dan, before I go back to you, because it's a good point from Lil Troll, which is we want these sort of things during the watch along. There is a hangover from Van Gaal. It's Alex Ferguson, and when he left United, we fans may not realise that the time from Alex Ferguson will never be repeated. Well, I disagree with that. I think Jose is the right man to bring success back. But I do agree that there is a hangover, Dan, from Van Gaal. I mean, he was here for 2 years. He was a suppressive manager, definitely to the attacking players. And let's be honest, a month of Jose is it's going to take a while for him to dilute that Van Gaal nightmare of 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Oh, hold on, hang on a minute.
Vardy in it at the moment. Oh, Vardy's through. Good tackle by, was it Blind, but he got caught a bit there. Yeah. Vardy just skipped past Bailly in the box. He's running through. Well, he goes past Fellaini, and Fellaini stops running, to be fair, and Blind has to come across and makes a good tackle. But Leicester not messing about, and somebody said that Mahrez will leave Leicester. I'll be very surprised if he does. You know, Arsenal obviously wanted Vardy.
Where's he going to go? Like, people keep saying he's going to leave. He might go to. Why would you go to Arsenal? Like going to Arsenal, it doesn't guarantee you winning anything. You know. To be fair with you, Leicester's probably got a better chance of going further than us in the Champions League. So I wouldn't leave if I was him.
Luke Neal saying he's amazed by Jose playing two slow and sluggish centre midfielders, Carrick and Herrera for me. I think it's a good point, Luke. I'm quite surprised. My only explanation is that maybe he is just giving players some game time, trying to get them fit for the most important game next week. Although this is important, it's at Wembley. But I'm amazed that we've not bought a centre-back because I think we look weak down the centre-back positions. Valencia's not a right-back for me. And we are slow in the midfield. You're right. I think Dan said it. A few people have said it. So Luke's right about that. Marcus Berggren says Vardy went past Bay way too easy. Good thing Blind was there. Well, we've said this about Bay. I think he will be very good. But he's raw and he's young. And he's got to get used to the Premier League. And there will be more moments like that. And there'll be more moments like that from Rooney. Short pass again, giving the ball away. He's got to improve. I mean, keep your eye on Rooney, everybody. He's the number 10. He's not a right midfielder. He's not a left midfielder. He's not a midfielder. His job is to get the ball and feed Zlatan, Martial and Lingard. That is his job. He's got to control it and he's got to get his short-term passing right. And already he's done a couple of bad ones. He's got to get that right. Otherwise, we will not create chances. Shout out, please, for Paul Corcoran. You've got it.
It's just Rooney can't get that job. It's his part-time job. I don't think he takes his job seriously, Rooney. I think honestly, this season's going to be his last season. He's going to really and truly get found out this season. I mean, a lot of people have found him out already, but I mean, you know, we've invested now. We've got a world-class core now. We need a another world-class defender, I think. But you know, we've got Pogba, we've got De Gea, we've got Zlatan up front. Rooney in that 10 role, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit for me at all.
Neil,
go on. Sorry.
No. Neil Graham has apparently Jose said that this is his strongest team available, according to Jose. Well, as Joey said, why would you bench the Bundesliga Player of the Year? Just ridiculous. And you know what? As well as that, you signed him, Jose. He's not a Louis van Gaal signing like Memphis, who you've not even put on the bench. You signed Mkhitaryan. He's one of your marquee signings. So for this to be your strongest team, it might be your fittest team at the moment. I'll give you that, but strongest team is ridiculous. Most boring 7 minutes of his life, says John.
Jose's smoke and mirrors king.
You are.
You know he loves. I said, don't forget that Jose is the king of
smoke and mirrors. Yeah.
He knows this isn't. He knows this isn't his strongest team. He knows that for a fact. But for me, I've got two theories into this, and I was thinking about it just for the last few minutes. Jose loves winning the Charity Shield. He takes it seriously. To him, it's the first trophy of the season. But I think what happened last season in regards to Chelsea and how bad they played, they had a bad start last year because they was not fit at the start of the season, and because of that, he had his worst season as a manager. So is he sacrificing this Charity Shield to make sure that these players are, you know, that they're fit for the start of the Premier League? I think that could be happening right now.
Yeah, you might be right. I just tweeted something out there though. You know, it's been a tough start and we are second to a lot of the balls again. But Leicester are no slouchers. They are no slouchers at all. Bay's got a ball there, but it's not a bad start, and there's plenty of time to play. Poor cross from Rooney there from the left-hand side, as Marshall had put him into a bit of space. I'll tell you what it is. I think as a Manchester United fan over the last 2 years, you can't help but feel a little bit sick inside when you see Valencia at right back, and it's a good run by Martial into the side netting there. You see, that's what you want to see. You want to see him fed out on the left, 10 yards in front of him, running at people. That's where he'll cause the damage. And it was a good run from Martial. Skip past Danny Simpson, and he gets his shot away. It would have been hard to score from that angle as he approached into the box. But yeah, I think reading around Twitter there and probably picking up what Dan's saying as well, we've had two. We as fans have got hangover. Let's just remember we have got a hangover as well. And maybe Jose can turn the likes of Fellaini, Lingard, Valencia, and Blind around, but we've seen them for the last 2 years, and it just doesn't fill you with any excitement or confidence when you see them on the ball, because they've never really done it. And maybe they will step up to the plate. Maybe we're totally wrong, but I don't think all 4 of them will. But we'll just have to wait and see.
We know one who won't anyway.
You've got to be careful hating Fellaini, because a lot of people would just say we wouldn't be in the FA Cup final if it wasn't for him. Because remember, the ball hit him on the chest and went in against West Ham.
Yeah, no comment. No comment.
MEFC Jonathan, Mark, do you think Darmian is ready to play? You know what, that might be a really good comment. But I think I always said, if you watch the Manchester United Leicester preview I did in the middle of the week, the trouble with Manchester United at the moment is we may well turn a sensation, go sensationalist on something that actually means very little, because there's a lot of players who aren't on the bench today. Phil Jones isn't on the bench today. Ashley Young isn't on the bench. Fosu Mensah's not on the bench. Darmian's not on the bench. Memphis isn't on the bench. So it's easy to say, you know, Darmian's obviously not fancied at Manchester United, and neither's Memphis. We'll talk more about it at half time, but I would be more comfortable with Darmian playing at right back, because I think as a right back you've got to defend first, and I don't rate Valencia as a defender. I think he gets out. You know, I used to play as a defender myself, and there's certain things, and every defender that's decent knows what to do. As the ball gets switched to Luke Shaw, he's looking good, to be fair. His positional sense is everything. There's a good cross there, it deflects off somebody and Rooney headed it, but he was never going to beat the keeper from there because it was the edge of the box that he headed it from. Yeah, no way. It's almost like a headed pass back. That it's impossible to get any power on that, to be fair to Rooney. But yeah, I would like to see Darmian playing because defender first. I said it the same about Varela last year.
What baffles me about Darmian is, to me, that's a Jose Mourinho player all day long. Jose Mourinho likes his defenders to defend first and foremost, and so I'm baffled, really. I don't know if he just doesn't like him as you just don't know if he hasn't just had a chance to have a proper look at him or just how he acts. But I'm very surprised that he's running with Valencia, because Jose loves his defenders to defend first and foremost.
Oh, Fellaini's got the ball there, and Vardy's actually, I think he's just caught his Achilles a little bit. He'll probably be all right, but. Let's get a shout out for Fellaini. He had the ball with nobody around him and did a 5-yard pass. Rooney again giving the ball away. He's got to be better. I think what Rooney's trying to do at the moment, and in fairness to Rooney, he's trying to be a little bit too clever in his little passes. Like he tried to do a flick pass there, Leicester take it over. He's got, sometimes being a number 10 like Mata did in the second half against Galatasaray. It's just controlling the ball, doing the simple things quite well, and playing the simple ball. And Rooney has given it away a couple of times, and I said it before. He's got to play the easy ball. But more importantly, it's such an important position.
It is. I'll call the number 10 the puppet master position, because you're pulling the strings. You've just got to coordinate, just spread out the passes to have a free around you, and they will do those little trickery moves. Just play the easy pass around, the intricate pass around. But the passes he's trying to play now, he hasn't got the good players around him to do that yet. I mean, when Pogba's in the team with him or Mkhitaryan's in the team, let's talk about it. At the moment, mate, you got Fellaini behind you and Lingard to the right, so.
I'm enjoying it. I don't know what you're thinking, Dan. I am enjoying it. I don't know what the people on the comments are thinking, because I enjoy watching Manchester United. I enjoy the fact that Jose stood up on the side there, and he will be very aware of things that aren't right and are going well. And the reality is, if players continue like this, they will be taken off, and that's the positive. We've got a good bench. We've got Mata, Mkhitaryan, Rashford, Herrera. There's good players on that bench. It's not a great game. It isn't a great game, but I don't think you're gonna. I said that at the start. You're not gonna see fast, entertaining football when your midfield's got Carrick, Fellaini, and Rooney in it, because they're not fast players. I'd forgotten that Lingard was actually playing. He's just got the ball now, but he's buzzing around. To be fair, what I don't like is this interchanging again, although it could have worked quite well then. Right, we've got it to Valencia on the right side. He's got to put a cross in. And I'm not picking on Lingard. Martial's got it on the back foot. Tried to put a cross in. Morgan against Zlatan. Zlatan buries him. And Fellaini gets a shot away. But I'm not picking on Lingard because I will say it as well. Zlatan has been very, very quiet. Here's Vardy now against Bailly. They're having a bit of a upper and a downer, Bailly and Vardy, to be fair, Dan. I don't know whether you've spotted that. They are... there's been a couple of tasty challenges.
Yeah. And it's quite positive. I can see by just chasing down Vardy. I quite like the look of him. Really, he's quite tasty. He likes his little dig. People say Zlatan are quiet, but Zlatan's that guy, right? He can be quiet all game, and when it counts, he will come up for it, and he will deliver. And I was just thinking, it's so nice to have someone like him on the pitch, just a leader, just pick up the levels. I could just see his face just getting so annoyed at some of the players already.
Well, there's a great moment then. It was a high ball in the air, and he went up for it with Wes Morgan, who was fantastic last season. Zlatan against Wes Morgan, and let's just say Wes Morgan came off worst. And some people would say maybe Zlatan will get put on his backside there. Welcome to the Premiership. But he's up for this challenge, Zlatan. We've just got to... I said this a couple of weeks ago as well. We've got to feed him. He's got to get the chances. Paul Scholes, so right last year. He did say a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was a bit negative. He said Zlatan won't score as many goals this year because he won't get as many chances. Maybe Scholes will be proven right there. I don't think he will be, especially if you get Mkhitaryan in the team. But, Zlatan's whole career, which is over 10 years, longer, is a goal every 2 games. You've got to feed him though, and that is what, as Dan said, you've got to feed him the chances. You've got to give him the chances.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all you need. It's what a striker is only as good as the chances that get created, given to him. And even when Mkhitaryan was playing the other day, in a couple of our pre-season games, the balls that he was putting in was that on the end of them, mate. 9 times out of 10, he's putting it on the back of the net.
John Solaris says, Fellaini looks like a giraffe running through porridge. I've heard that saying before, John. I should do you for copyright. But I'm always happy to help out young comedians. Morgan Griffin, Mark, do you think Mata will stay? I'm hoping Mata will get on at some point in this game and show Rooney how to play number 10, because I was really impressed with him in that second half against Galatasaray. Idawi Phillips says, I can still feel our former coach's DNA on this team. Yep. You know what? Let's not get too negative. Where are we coming from? I think we've had a Champions League winning summer in the signings we've made, but let's not forget where we've been for the last 2 years. Battling for 4th place. The last 3 years we've only qualified for the Champions League once out of 3. We are coming from a long way down. We've made some fantastic signings. That's a good switch of the play there by Zlatan to get Valencia in. He's got a lot of space. He's not got past his man. But we can win the league. We can win the league. But I'm not saying we are going to win the league. We've got a long way to go. All I can tell you about Jose is that I've been following Jose since he first came to Chelsea. I'm old enough to remember that. And he came in and he schooled the Premier League. But what he's always done is he'll dissect a season into a game-by-game thing. And next week against Bournemouth, he'll be going, we need 3 points. Next week after that, we're playing Southampton at home. We need 3 points. When we're playing somebody like Liverpool or Spurs away, Vardy's through here. It's a good run by Vardy into Asaki. Decent shot, and it's wide. When we're playing somebody like Spurs away, he'll go, I want to win it, but we're not coming away with anything less than a point. He'll dissect a league. My concern is whether he's got the players or the style to do that with United yet. And I think he's realising that it's a bigger task than... maybe I don't think he has underestimated it. I just think us as fans need to remember that it's a massive task that he's got on his hands. Because United have been a mess for a long time. I think Dan's still with us.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit engrossed there. Absolutely. I mean, I may come across a bit negative because obviously I'm just a bit annoyed at how we're playing. I mean, of course, there is going to be a hangover, but as you said, we have to remember we've just
Leicester just hit the bar then, didn't they? Bloody hell, I missed that.
we just signed Zlatan. We shouldn't have been able to sign him. We just signed Pogba. We should definitely not have been able to sign him. We got the German Player of the Year, Bundesliga Player of the Year, and up and coming defender. Those are three out of those 4 signings we shouldn't have been able to sign this summer, but we have. And it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time to repair what's been broken after the last few years. But it will be done. I honestly do think it's going to be done. Let's be real. In the next couple of games, right, Fellaini's not going to be starting ahead of a Pogba. It's not going to be happening.
No, and as I've said so many times, we will win the league in the next 2 years under Jose, because that's what he does.
Definitely.
The corner there from Asaki, who is probably only about 5 foot, was up against Zlatan, who is well over 6 foot. He got up ahead of him and headed it onto the bar. Said it before the game, said it during the game. Leicester, very good in the air. We've been shocking in the air, and maybe that's one of the reasons Fellaini's playing today as well. But I'd say, what are we in? We're 20 minutes in, and Zlatan. Leicester looking the better team, Dan, but maybe that's because, as they showed last year, they are a better team. They are a team that won the Premier League last year, and they haven't changed much, whereas we've got a brand new manager, new players, struggling with fitness clearly as well.
Yeah.
But we're hanging in there.
Yeah, but at the same time, they've had a better pre-season than us, and I'm not talking about in terms of winning results. They've had a more organised and structured pre-season. Our pre-season was a joke. It was a joke. Obviously we missed the Man City game. We sort of chopped in a little testimonial match. That's not a pre-season for this team. That's not. Jose wouldn't arrange that pre-season, and at the same still, we've got a lot of people. I honestly think once Pogba comes in tomorrow, I think we're gonna have about 4 or 5 players going, and I think 2 of them in this team. Well, I know, a couple of these players, even on the bench and playing today, won't be here. So he's still moulding this team, because you just named a few minutes ago the players that didn't even make the match squad that can make this team. So we're still finding our team. I think give it a couple of weeks. In fact, give it next week. I think we're going to have quite a clear indication of who is going to be our team. I don't even think we have to wait past Bournemouth. I think going throughout the week and leading up to the Bournemouth match, we're going to know who's really going to be a part of this team this season.
Yeah, you don't get any points for winning today. Somebody just said Pogba yawn there. Who was it? MUFC Jonathan. I'm sure you're aware, Jonathan, that the club have announced that Pogba's having a medical, and so the BBC. Some of you may not have been aware of that. He's coming to Manchester United. I know we've been saying it for weeks. Well, now you better believe it, because it's official that he's having a medical. So he will be probably unveiled. I wouldn't have thought it'd be tonight. I think it'll be a big event tomorrow, which is more or less what we predicted as well, which is great. Zlatan's playing quite deep at the moment. Rooney's, I don't know where Rooney is. I think he's over on the left wing at the moment.
It's probably at McDonald's.
I'm sure he'll come into picture at some point. Zlatan, Rooney's out on the left. Martial's gone up the front. Lingard's out on the left. It's all a bit.
It's all a bit of Louis van Gaal.
It's all a bit interchanging. There's a saying, isn't there? Don't run before you can walk, and let's just keep everybody in position, and then we can start to interchange. But we're not playing that well anyway. John Iarty giving Lingard a bit of stick, saying he can't control. Mark, do you think Man United will sign any more players other than Pogba? Says Rayok08. I think we will sign a right back. I think we'll sign Fabinho. And I really do think we need a centre back, and then that's it. We need an experienced centre back. Interestingly enough, Thomas Vermaelen, I've not confirmed this myself, I was told this, has gone to Roma. If he's gone to Roma, Manolas is free. I'd hope we'd be going in for Manolas, but I think Arsenal need a centre back as well, so that'd just be bloody typical. But
but if Jose knows that Wenger wants Manolas, he'd be just for the sake of it. So hopefully, but Thomas Vermaelen, he got confirmed a couple of hours ago. I saw him holding up the scarf and everything like that. So.
Oh, good. Well, you never know. Then there might be something in that. Lozano ? Says Andy Armando. Yeah, would like to see that happen. It won't happen till after the Olympics anyway.
I can see 4 more players coming in after Pogba. I honestly can. I can see four coming in. There won't be obviously concrete, definite starters, but I can just see us chopping off some of the deadwood and then padding it back out with a few other players. I think we're definitely going to get a right back, centre back, and another. I can see us getting another striker.
It's getting a little bit tasty at the moment. Leicester are a tasty side. They do bite into the tackle, and United are trying to give a little bit back, a little bit of effort, which is no bad thing. We need that. Jason Burke, he's just confirming that Vermaelen has gone to the team. Glory, who do you think who do you think? What a slow lineup, he's saying. Manolas is not free. Roma has injury problems at the back, so they had to buy Vermaelen. Okay, that's from BD Lockett. Jolie Phillips says we need Manolas. Darmian and 40 million for Manolas. Oh, Bay's really stood off Vardy there. He really has. He's made a good recovery tackle. He likes going to the ground, Bay, but you know what? I've been critical about Phil Jones. It was a long ball, and he allowed it to drop into Vardy's feet, and it's only a last-ditch tackle that kept it in play. And I'm going to be fair as well. I'm a massive fan of Carrick. He's not getting hold of this game at all. Not getting hold of it at all. Mark, do you think United could win this year's Europa League? Says Kingdom Kid JD. I think we should be putting the reserves out. I don't want us to put any effort into the Europa League. What you win the Europa League, you get Champions League football. You come fourth in the Premier League, you get Champions League football. Let's finish in the top four and get Champions League football. I'm not got no interest in the Europa League, and I've seen it destroy so many English teams second half of the season because you're focusing on that. So yeah, no, I wouldn't. I'm not that interested in it. I don't know about you, Dan.
Nah, for me, play the fringe squad, because as you said, there's so many games. It just messes up the second half of the season. You're playing Thursday, Sunday. You start getting injury. It's just the whole thing. No one's really that committed to it because so what? You won the Europa League. Do you know what I mean? So I know it sounds spoiled from us as Man United fans, but at the end of the day, us winning the Europa League doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything at all. So it's like winning silver medal at the Olympics. You want gold. So it's whatever to me. Get out of it as quick as possible.
Gavin O'Brien just said, what should be our targets for the season? Not signings, obviously, like cups and league position. What are your thoughts on that?
What was that? Sorry, you sort of broke up there in my ear.
What are our? What do you think our thoughts? Oh, that's shocking by Rooney again. Absolutely shocking pass. He's got all the time in the world in his favourite position, stood in our half, and just passes it to Leicester. They are buzzing it around us at the moment. No, I was just saying, what do you think our aims should be realistically this year?
A minimum of one trophy. And to be honest with you, the Premier League, the title should be our aim. And people can say, how can you just say that we should go to the title? You finished 5th last season. End of the day, Leicester was the champions last season. It wasn't a world-class Man City team. It wasn't a world-class Chelsea team or an Arsenal team. It was Leicester. So, in my eyes, first place for the taking from any team that's up for it. You know, the money that we're spending, we're not just spunking on anybody. We're just about to complete the signing of Paul Pogba. Yeah, we're breaking the world transfer record. We've got Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We've got Jose Mourinho. We need to be going for the Premier League title. I'll be very disappointed if we even if we finish second, because the way we've got the best manager in the league that knows the league, and we've got some seriously world class players. We've got the best goalkeeper, arguably the best in the Premier League now, and one of the best strikers in the world. So why can't we go for the Premier League?
I'm just looking at our Twitter account. Mark Dillon at N33Mad. He says presently Bailly is Man United's best buy this season. And Mr. Peanut is saying Rooney is a joke. Awful to watch, says at Branna last game. I'm going to take some of your comments on the live comments as well. Rooney's getting it again. Antec, Rooney is slower than a slow bro. It's a lot of people swearing at Rooney. Ravens Claude swearing about him. Amster's swearing about him. Ronak Parak swearing about him. George Benson, why is he giving the ball away so much? Muller 91 swearing about him. Sandeep swearing about him. Gungshi kept it clean. Rooney, dear me. Get sold, Rooney, says Happy Ricks. Pogba, where you at, says Yuba. Rooney sad, says JFRK093. Rooney blowing every pass, says Amster. Matter on, please, says Mark Woods. some people accuse us of like picking on Rooney. I backed him last season, and I said I thought he could turn it round, and he didn't. My issue with Rooney is that he just for the last 2 years he's been a 5 or 6 out of 10 player, and for the money he's paid and the career he's had, he should be having more 8 and 9 out of 10 games. But I think it's probably a little bit early to say it, but I saw it in the first half against Galatasaray, and I've seen it again here today. His passing is abysmal, and he's getting the ball as a number 10. That's the first thing. You're getting the ball, but then he's giving the ball away. So how are we going to start attacks? How's Martial going to do anything? How's Zlatan going to have a chance when he's giving the ball away? And you can't, whether you love Rooney or not, and I know a lot of you do. And I for one hope he does turn it round, and Jose's the man to do it. But he's got to stop giving the ball away. It's absolutely shocking. If he's our number 10, then we will struggle this season on the form he's showing so far, because he can't find a pass.
Absolutely. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. Oi. Woo!
Lingard scored.
He has.
Hey! I'm well late. I'm reacting to you there. I don't know why that's happening. It's a great goal by Lingard, to be fair. Shocking defending by Leicester, I think, but it's sort of I'll have to watch that again, because obviously you were slightly ahead of me. I thought I'd be...
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. I just have to watch that back again, because I was looking at it, and right, so he picks it up in his own half. He goes past one. It's a poor tackle by Wes Morgan that goes through his legs, and it just sort of opens up for him, and he takes it well. It's a good goal. He's not been in the game at all, Lingard. But he took it well. For a player who tends to fluff his line. What was your thoughts, Dan?
Brilliant. I mean, I have had my thoughts on him in the past, but end of the day, that's a brilliant goal. That was sublime from him. His celebration there, he just pulled up his top and it said Alex underneath. So
who? Alex.
Yeah. But great goal from Lingard. I can't take it away from him. Brilliant goal.
I've got to update the score.
That happened. Go on, sorry.
That's all right.
No, I was saying it's stuff like that from players like him, and players like him, Fellaini. When they do things like that, it shows you. Yes, they are good players. They are good squad players. We're not disputing that. I'm not disputing that one bit, that he's a good squad player. He showed his worth again today. With that goal. So fair play. That's the thing, and a lot of fans forget that when you're criticising the player, it's okay to say actually they scored a good goal there, or did they get a good job there. So well done to Lingard.
Yeah, he took it well. He did take it well. I'm just ribbing Alex a little bit now on Twitter.
I think Adidas might as well.
Yeah, I hope they do. In fact, I'll tag them in as well. Why not? As Take That said, it only takes a minute to fall in love, and in football it only takes a few seconds to change a game, and he changed the game. Yeah. Leicester well in the ascendancy, but goals like that can give you some confidence, and he's not been in the game, but as I said as well, Lingard, Zlatan's not really been in the game. It wasn't great defending from Leicester, but most goals you can be critical about will be down to some sort of error defensively. I think it's good for the game now, because I think United haven't been great. Leicester have been the more industrious side, harder working. They've now got to come at us again. I've updated the score, thanks for that, Josh Williams. But yeah, I don't know what Jose would think of this first half so far. I'm pleased that we're ahead.
I think he'd be disappointed. If I'm honest with you, I think he's looked a bit shocked in the last few games, because we just look so sluggish. But at the same time, is he aware of that? I mean, he's not. He's won so much in his career. he can tell that he's picked today to start that game. We're going to be slow and sluggish. So is he just trying to work out, like, you know, as I said, is Fellaini in the shop window? Is other players in the shop window? Is he saying who's definitely not going to work with Pogba and who will? Who's going to work? So I think he's just playing it around. But, you know, at the end of the day, if we play like this in the season and we're winning games, do we really care at the moment from where we've come from?
No, we don't. I'm just trying to see why mine is so slow compared to yours, because I wonder if it's because I had it on. What's your clock saying? 35?
Mine's saying 35, 34.
Oh, right, okay. I think
you pretty synced up?
I think it's because I had it on HD, I think. Let me try now.
Yeah, I took mine off HD because it does sort of delay it slightly.
35, 43, 44, 45.
I'm on 52 now.
Yeah, I'm going back to non-HD because I want to be...
That's what I did.
Yeah. That's a shame, isn't it? HD gives it a slower stream. Luke Shaw with a good overlap there, and yeah. Let's take some of your swords. Ravens clawed, that midfield just doesn't work. Fellaini is wanted by Sunderland, says Daniel from Scotland. At least someone wants him. CDM's got an apple. Kim Nilsson, Valencia and Fellaini need to score, so we're stuck with them as well. Update your score, retard. I thought I did that quite a while ago. Please, where is Pogba, says Uba Hashi. He's having a medical in at Manchester as we speak, probably. Moments of magic from Jesse Lingard. It was. He has got those moments of magic. It's what happens in the rest of the game that tends to make him a bit of a divider with some people. Ryuk, Mark and Dan, why do you think Jose don't fancy Bastian Schweinsteiger at Manchester United? We maybe touch on that at half time because we want to talk about some of those players who haven't made the bench as well. So I'll make a note of that. Bailly amazing, says Timo J. I'll tell you what I think about Bailly as a cross comes in again and Leicester do win the cross again. We do look dodgy on crosses again. I think a lot of people like Bailly because he's one of those. He's a bit like the reason Scott Parker took to the Euros a few years ago and Carrick didn't, because Scott Parker's the sort of midfielder who does a lot of last-ditch tackles because his positional sense is crap. Carrick doesn't do them because his positional sense is good. Bailly's doing a lot of last-ditch tackles at the moment because his positional sense isn't as good as it needs to be in the Premier League. But I think he has got a massive amount of potential, and I did say a couple of games ago I think his ball distribution and ability on the ball is better than Smalling. So I think he's got a great amount of potential, Bailly, but I think we've got to give him 6 months like we gave Vidic. Vidic was awful when he first came to United,
yeah,
and so was Evra.
They were both terrible when they first came. And then, you know, you have to give players time. You have to give players time. Hence why I always say about all the signings that are made under LVG. No matter what you thought of them, that was under him. Give him a few, you know, give him 6 to 12 months under Mourinho and just see if they can prove themselves.
Yeah.
But I've noticed, as you said, he makes a lot of last ditch tackles. He plays a bit like, I don't really want to say it, but Mangala sort of does that, where he relies on rely on his pace to get back and then do a last ditch defense. Obviously he can work on that, he's young, but that can only get you out of jail so many times, you know. So it's just, but you know, Jose will work on that in training. It's
a great test for him today against somebody like Vardy, who was, you know, arguably the best striker in the Premier League last year. So it is a good test for him. I think it's a good test for United. It is tasty. You know, Leicester are fighting into the game, which is what we'd expect from them. GTF Membalati says Bailly is raw, but Jose will fix him. I'm sure he will. We've just got to be patient with it. As Rooney picks it up here, he goes past one. That'll probably be a yellow card there. He was fouled. Rooney's gone out to the left wing at the moment, probably because he's crap at number 10. But he's not a number 10. I don't think he is a number 10. Well, no, I don't know what I'm saying there. I've said that's Rooney's best position is number 10. He's got to play well there because he's certainly not anything else anymore. But he's just got to improve his touch and his passing. It's shocking at times. But Justice O, Zlatan is playing Rooney's position now. I think he has dropped into it, which is interesting. Spineless PSY says your guest is a very good commentator. There you go, Dan. Rooney did something for HS1. Carrick hasn't made a tackle for 4 years. Given time, he looks good under pressure. It's a joke. The game just goes by him, says Mike Riley. Totally disagree with you. He's not having a good game today, Mike, but Carrick sort of dictates the play, takes the ball off the back four and gives everyone the confidence ahead of him, and every player at United sort of said that over the last few years. Who is on our subs bench, says Emmanuel? Well, we've got Romero, Rojo, Herrera, Schneiderlin. That's how many? 4. And then we've got Mata, Rashford and Mkhitaryan. So there's no Memphis, there's no Darmian, there's no Jones, there's no Ashley Young. The clock is a bit off. I think it is. I'll sort that for the second half. Zayn Abbas, good to see Dan back. Couldn't we at least play Bastion for this game, says Josh Williams. Yep, totally agree with that. Carrick fan says, great goal by Lingard, which it was. Clock not synced, says Cubus. No, well it won't do because there'll always be a slight delay on a YouTube live stream. You can pause it and sync in with us if you want. Mark, do you think Carrick is good, says Abu Bakr. I don't think he's having a great game so far. I really don't, but I'll be honest about anybody. Lynn Hall, Rooney's doing nothing so far. Jimbo says Dan is a great guest. I want Rooney to go, says Bradley Crawford. Missed the goal, says Sean Spikings. Could you explain it quickly, mate? Well, Dan saw it before me. Dan will talk you through it. The Lingard goal, Dan?
Yeah, well, if I can remember back to it. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit engrossed in what was going on there on the TV. I can't remember it now completely. If I'm honest with you, I know he was doing a lot. Was he doing a lot of one? Did he start the play from midfield, centre of midfield?
I think it was Rooney losing the possession again, and then he tackled back. Lingard sort of picked it up, went past one. Wes Morgan or Danny Simpson, one of the two, flew in with a tackle and sort of mistimed it because he managed to hit their leg but go through their legs. Then the Leicester defence, there was a lot of players sort of seemed to part ways. I think they thought he was going to pass or something. He ran into the box, picked his spot, it hit the keeper, but it still went in. And he took it well. He took the space well. He did go past a couple of players. I think if Martial scored it, we'd be going, what a great goal. So yeah, he took it well.
What do you think of his decision making now? Because you say he never makes a decision when he has to.
Well, I would say very good, because I think when he hasn't got to think about things, he's normally very good, like in the FA Cup final. But when he's got to think about things, like I think it was against Wigan a few weeks ago, he ran through on goal a bit like that and tried to side pass it past the goalkeeper from outside the box. It was awful. But that was a similar opportunity today, and he did it far better. So maybe Jose's working his magic, because Lingard's always been fairly decent when he doesn't think about it, and when he thinks about it, he gets it wrong, whether it's a cross or a shot. So maybe he is young enough for Jose to sort it out. So, there will be players in this squad who Jose sorts out, and maybe Lingard will be one. The reality is Lingard's not getting sold, whether people want him to be sold or not.
He won't get sold. No way. He's been there. There's no way we're going to keep selling off our youth product now. He's going to stay here, because at the end of the day, like, why would you sell Lingard and then keep Ashley Young? Do you know what I mean? So Lingard's going to be here, and he's not a bad squad player. As I said, he's not. He's not. I don't think he's ever going to be world class, in my opinion. But he's a good player. He's a good squad player. Let's see if that's it there. Yeah, I think we might see a different team come out at half time, because
I don't know how many subs he can make.
I think you can do 6 in the Charity Shield.
Alright, well that'd be good. There's a good comment in the comments box there. Carl Rogers, speed kills and we don't have it. Very good, made me laugh. We don't have enough speed, especially in the midfield. It is very slow. I mean, Carrick's 35, you can't knock him for that, but he was never that quick anyway. Fellaini, as we know, he's slower than a bag of cement that's been in the sun all day, if that works. And Rooney, again, he's lost a lot of his pace. He used to be quite fast, Rooney, but he has gone quite slow.
But the positive is we do have the speed. The combination of now got, we do have the speed. If putting the right players in there. I just think this game, as much as it, I know it's it's Community Shield and everything like that. This game is still sort of like an audition for some of these players. So I wouldn't read too much into what you're watching now, really, because I think some of these players won't even be playing week in, week out in the starting 11. So
Paul Roscoe 11 says if Jose can work his magic, Jesse could become class maybe. Jesse's a late bloomer. I mean, he is nearly 24 now. Some people think he's a youth player. He has come through the youth setup, but he is the same age as Pogba. The thing Lingard needs to do, and he may never do it, some people don't, is if he bulks out a bit, he'd be a totally different player because he'd be a lot stronger on the ball. But he might not. You know, some people do say stay skinny their whole life. Look at people like Peter Crouch. He might not bulk out. I think if he does, he might go up another level. And obviously with Josie's training, he might do. But I don't know. I think at best he'll always be a squad player, and those players are useful. I think that's where Daley Blind should be. I think that's where Valencia should be. They're squad players. They're not players good enough to win as a title. Let's be honest. But they have their part. Daniel Nolan says it's early, but so far I am impressed with Bailly. Dan Butterworth says Herrera, Rashford, and pace increases.
Valencia's busting the gut down there.
I mean, for those who don't know loads about Pogba, what he will bring from the midfield is pace. He loves taking people on. He's very powerful, and he will bring a lot of pace to our midfield, which we're lacking. And as Dan keeps saying, Pogba will, whether this is Jose's best 11 or not, and we don't know whether it is. Maybe it is. Maybe this is his team for Bournemouth. The reality is Pogba will come into this, and somebody will come out of it, and it'll probably be Fellaini in this team, because then again, it might be Carrick. You never know. But that's half time. That is half time. So Dan, give us your thoughts, and I'll just send a tweet out and get a load of people over here giving us their thoughts as well.
Yeah, I think my thoughts on the first half. It's more, as I said, it's the Community Shield, but for me, it's just another really intense training session, pre-season match as well in Jose's head. I think he's just working out the attributes of his team, who's going to work well with who and who's not. Again, we're seeing a lot of hangover from last year, but we're going to see it. Don't forget that the season only happened a few months ago. I mean, we've only played 2-3 games in pre-season. Am I happy about it? Not at the moment, no. But I can see the vision of where we want things to work. And Mark mentioned earlier that you can see Rooney trying to do little Ingletrip Park passes, and some of the runs we're making. They look pretty decent. Lingard looks confident. Martial looks like Martial's just Martial. I think he always plays the same way, really. Everyone says he doesn't change his expression, but I think he's just got so much quality. He can turn it on and turn it off. Zlatan hasn't really stood out for me, but I mean, who has in his team in the first half? So I can't really say. I see a lot of people on Twitter saying, Zlatan's terrible, so he's wasted. No one really stood out. It's the first half of the Community Shield, so not too bad, not too shabby.
No, I mean, I sort of tweeted out there, Rooney shocking, Lingard sensational. It was a sensational bit of play from Lingard. You've got to give credit where credit is due. You've also got to, wouldn't say criticise, but be concerned. I've always said that Rooney will play at number 10 against Bournemouth, and my theory on that hasn't changed. What I would say about Rooney is he's doing the same things he did against Galatasaray last weekend, where he's getting a lot of the ball in the number 10 position, and then he's giving it away with the short passes. So people can be critical if they want to be critical about Zlatan. Of course, you can be critical. Martial's not been in that game either. The thing is, we're not feeding them because our number 10 is not feeding them. And that is a massive problem, and it needs to be resolved. I would bring Mata on in the second half. It's funny, we're winning the game. We probably will win the game. Leicester haven't had that many chances. Bailly's done well while still being very raw. He has done well. Leicester probably the better team, probably the more hard-working team. But an individual brilliance by Lingard has helped us. I have got to sort the clock out. You're right. So let me turn that off. But yeah, I mean, have we learnt anything from that? Possibly not. But we're winning. You take a lot of confidence from winning. I'd like to see some substitutions. I'd like to see Mkhitaryan or Mata coming on at number 10, because I just didn't think Rooney was that good. Big Stack says Rooney off. Lingard is sick, great player, and he will get better, says Charlie Ty. Remember, he's 24. He's not a youth player. That's the only thing I would keep saying about that. Lingard is not a young lad. He's got to be doing it now, week in, week out. Disgruntled blogger would take Carrick off. Yes, you may as well give Schneiderlin a run out, because he's got a massive curve to go up. But let's just talk quickly about Pogba before we go back to some of the players that are missing and what future they may have. For those who did odd timing, maybe slightly odd timing, we're there clicking away. I'm sure they did it on purpose. We're all waiting for Manchester United to release the starting lineup at just before 3 o'clock, and they released an official Pog back. You go to the bit of news, and he is having a medical at the Aon Training Centre. BBC had already announced it about half an hour before, so you pretty much knew it was done. We've obviously been saying that Pogba would be signing for United for weeks. It's nice that it is going to be confirmed. I would imagine it will be boom tomorrow with Adidas and all sorts of stuff going on, which is great. Adidas have hinted at that target. But Dan, we want Pogba to sign. We've known he's going to sign. And after that first half, that midfield is very slow. It is crying out for someone like Pogba.
Yeah, absolutely crying out for it. And you know, just watching that first half is getting me more and more excited when Pogba does slot into it. He's just going to bring so much bite to our midfield. My only concern, well, it's not really concern, is I'm thinking with the amount of bite and energy that he's going to have bursting forward, who's going to be plugging in behind to sort of back in that midfield, and is Carrick going to be up to it? Because Pogba's got so much energy that if you watch how he plays, he will get up and up and up that pitch. It's is Herrera going to be with him? Because is Carrick going to be able to do it? I think he will at this age. Schneiderlin, I think now the biggest sort of puzzle to solve now is who's going to be with Pogba in the midfield.
Yeah, Jamie Ashby's saying get Herrera and Mkhitaryan on. Zabodini's saying Rooney out. Rooney is getting a lot of stick on the comment section. It's how long's a piece of string with Rooney. We've been watching him for the last 2 years. I consistently say that he's been consistently 5 or 6 out of 10 for the last 2 years. That's not good enough for somebody of Rooney's calibre. Hopeful that Josie will get the best out of him, but Josie can't make him pick out 5 and 10 yard passes, and he just seems impossible to do that. What I would say is if Zlatan came off in this half and Rashford came on up front, I think Rooney would start playing well, because he can play 30-yard passes into the channels, and Rashford will run after them. Rooney's great at when he's doing 30-yard passes, but to play number 10, you've got to have good close control, and you've got to be able to play the short passes. Martial's not been fed at all. People are picking on Zlatan not being fed, not even had a chance in that game. Lingard not fed, but got hold of the ball and produced a bit of brilliance. He's not really had any of the ball either. Too slow in the midfield. Carrick and Fellaini are basically just chasing shadows against Leicester, and I'll be honest about that. But I do agree with what Dan said about Pogba, that who's going to play behind Pogba. It's clearly not going to be Schweinsteiger. He's been frozen out. Carrick is a declining force as much as I like him. Schneiderlin could be that player, but on the other hand, could not. Who knows? We're going to go and sign Matuidi or somebody else. We know we're nearly signing a new team then. So it is interesting to see what's going to happen there. We said we'd touch on it about half time.
About Fosu-Mensah.
Go on.
Sorry. No. I'm just throwing it out there because I know you're going to go to the next thing. What about throwing Fosu-Mensah in there? Yeah.
Well, to be honest, it sort of feeds in nicely anyway, because I think Fosu-Mensah has been carrying in a bit of an injury, but he has been training. He's not part of the squad. He's not part of the subs bench today, so he won't be coming on, which means he's probably quite low down in priority. Whether it's about fitness or what, we do not know. But having said that, there's no Darmian, there's no Memphis. If you were Memphis and Darmian, would you be concerned as much as Schweinsteiger probably is right now?
No. For Memphis, I would be. Darmian as well, I probably would. I don't know. It's such a puzzle with Darmian, because you haven't seen him since he's been on holiday after the Euros. You haven't seen anything of him. It's so strange that he's not even around. It's not. You just don't. It's like he's disappeared. Memphis, I thought he didn't show enough in pre-season, so I thought, he's definitely going to play today in the Community Shield, definitely, and he's not there again. So I don't know. He's got so much potential, but I am worried that he's not here today, because when's he going to be able to show himself now? Because the season started today. I don't know. The only thing I can think of is, say he does go. Joe's going to think, all right, who's my backups on the left and right? Martial, Young. Lingard, Mkhitaryan. Maybe he thinks. I don't know. I'm a bit worried, to be fair. I think both of them should be as worried as Schweinsteiger.
I think Memphis. You touched on it. Obviously, we know the Man City game was cancelled, but Memphis played against Wigan, and he played against Dortmund, and he played like Memphis of last season, and he needed to play like Memphis of PSV to get anywhere near being near this team. And I think people are starting to realise that now. You know, Ashley Young's played okay in the pre-seasons that I've seen him. He's not on the bench, and he's fit. We have got too many players. That's the reality. Well, we haven't, not that we've got too many players. We've got too many players to put on the bench. You know, Phil Jones has been training for the last 3 weeks. He's not on the bench. Fosu Mensah is carrying an injury. I know that. Smalling obviously can't play against Bournemouth. Schweinsteiger frozen out. Darmian, Memphis, fit enough to be on the bench, not on the bench. Smalling will come back, so that's somebody else who's got to drop off the bench. Pogba will come in, that's somebody else who's got to drop off the bench. There's a lot of competition to get into this team, and Memphis maybe it doesn't mean he's going to be sold. It just means you're not on the bench at the moment, mate. But that just is an example of what a journey he's got to go back from to get anywhere near this starting lineup. I think it's a big journey, and as much as there will be opportunities this season, Lingard's ahead of him, quite rightly, on the performance today. Martial's ahead of him. Mkhitaryan, he's on the bench, so he's ahead of him. James Kidman, Lingard didn't dab, but I don't think Memphis will be sold. I think Darmian might be. That saddens me, like I said, because I'm not convinced by Valencia as a right back. If we're not having Darmian there, I would rather we sign somebody, because Valencia will cost us goals, just like Blind will over the season, because they're not. That isn't their position. You need specialists, and Jose said that. So I'd be surprised if he doesn't do it. Niall Vono says, "Is Blind playing well?" Daley Blind's a steady utility player. That's what he should be for us. He should eventually be a bench player, because he can play left back, midfield, and centre back. He's doing okay.
That's John O'Shea.
Yeah, like John O'Shea.
Yeah, I call him. That's what I call him. To me, he's just the Dutch version. You know what I mean? Just John O'Shea. He's a legend. He's a legend utility player for us. He knows his job, does his job happily, and I think for us, to me, it's just if Blind is happy to accept that role. Because if he is, I don't think there's anyone much better for him that can play that in that sort of free role. So.
No, yeah. I agree. So we need Smalling probably come in with Bailly. I do have concerns about Bailly. I would say that. A lot of people giving a lot of Bailly love on the comments and on Twitter, and as Dean Madigan says there, Bailly is a beast. What I would say is that Bailly's played really well, but he's raw, and he will get found out a few times in his first 6 months because he's not used to the Premier League. You've just got to... I accept that. I do accept that. He's made some good last-ditch tackles, but I think Dan said it in the first half. When you're doing so many last-ditch tackles, there'll become a point when those sort of things will come back and bite you. But he's a young lad who's going to learn. I just think we need an experienced centre-back. I really do. Whether it's going to play with Smalling or whether it's going to play with Bailly, we do need one. And I think we need a right-back as well. And then I think we are sorted. I do. But I just worry that we're still having this... It's almost Van Halism, that we're still playing too many players out of position, and that will cost us.
But again, I mean, I keep saying it, but I honestly just believe that just Jose wasn't happy with how pre-season went, and in his mind, this is another pre-season game as well. So that's why the players are out of position. I think from next week you will see a solid player in position, because he made it clear in his first press conference he wants players that play in their specialist role. So for him now to start playing, it just doesn't. For me, it doesn't make any sense. It's too early for him to go back on what he just said. But then again, he keeps playing Valencia and right back. But I think he's only doing that until we make Darmian starts playing, or to make a right back signing.
Fabinho will come, says OGMXTHX. Yep, I believe that as well. Cameron 1 hates Rooney. James says yo. Lingard is obviously better than Memphis, says W00T777. He is at the moment, but I think if you know what Memphis's potential is, I think Memphis is potentially better than Lingard, but unfortunately, potential means nothing if you don't produce. Look at Adnan Januzaj. Uman Godham says we should loan out Pereira. Apparently Jose doesn't want him. I don't want another Paul Pogba situation with Pereira. Yeah, that's a sad one. I really do rate Pereira, but it's the third manager in a row now who's just not used him. Weird. I'd like to see him loan just to see how bloody good he is, to be honest, because I just think he is. Hamad007 says, shout out please. If only Lingard was built like Depay, says United Man. Yeah, we talked about that before. I think he does need to bulk out a bit. Lewis Smithy says Rooney has been terrible for 3 years. He was good under Moyes, but I'd agree he is going into his third year now with being distinctly average. It isn't good enough, and he is our biggest earner and captain. I mean, I always forget that, Dan, as well. I mean, we focus so much on his performance that we forget that he is actually the captain of the side as well. As a leader, he just can't he couldn't lead a pack of ants to a picnic.
To me, he's not a leader, and I think with Jose here, I don't think he cares if he's the captain or not. And he showed that. He showed that all those years that he was at Chelsea, he showed that he was willing to sacrifice John Terry. Yeah, and if Jose would have stayed there, John Terry would not still be at Chelsea Football Club. So for me, and John Terry is more of a captain. I don't even like the guy, but he is more of a captain and a leader than Wayne Rooney. And Mourinho knew that his time was up and he could be sacrificed. So hopefully, and I honestly believe that this will be the last season now for Rooney as a Manchester United player, because he's not up for it. He's not up for it. There's better number 10s in his position, and he's not a midfielder. He's not going to start in front of Pogba. So I just think this is it now. This is a wrap. And he's coming back out now. I don't know if you want to give out the second half team, but he's coming back out now.
Oh God! Somebody just asked me to have a look at the @Man United page about Pogba, which isn't any news, but MUTV had Ron Atkinson on today. That's done well. He couldn't get on the telly for love or money for about 2 decades, but we all know why. But rightly so. But yeah, Pogba's back. We knew that. We did that. We'd just gone live when that happened. It was amazing, and I thought it was almost poetic justice, really, that we were live on air when Pogba was officially announced by Manchester United, because we have been saying for over a month now that he would be coming to United, and a lot of people didn't want it to happen because they didn't like the fact that we obviously had some information coming into the United stand, and people don't like that happens. But also announced an hour before the team kicked off that Fellaini and Lingard were starting, and everyone said that was bullshit. But it was true. We do get told some things, and it's nice that these things have come off. There are going to be some substitutions now, but all I can see are Leicester ones. I'm sure we'll know the United ones a bit quicker, unlike MUTV, who seem to take about most of the half to tell you who's come off and who's come on. But
we're the same team.
We're the same team. We are the same
so.
team. Yeah, I thought we might be, to be honest, but need to stop that.
Maybe Jose gave him a slap to sort it out.
Leicester made a couple of substitutions. I think they've brought this Mendy on, who I saw they signed him about the time they got rid of Kante. Actually, I think it was a bit before. Remember, Leicester got Champions League football this year as well, so they won't want to be losing to what is a subpar United team who are just not quite ready yet. But second half is off, and hopefully
Musa's a good player as well. He's wicked. He's been wicked for the last few years, man. I think he scored 2 goals as well against Barcelona the other day on his debut. He's a really good player for me.
Did they lose to Barcelona?
Yeah, 3-2. They were losing. I can't remember if it was 3-0 or 2-0. Musa comes on and scores like 2 goals straight away. So I think he's really good. He's a better version of Remy.
Yeah, Dave Polton's saying Musa is going to shock a few people, and then there's a really long name that I can't read out, unfortunately, saying Musa is dangerous. Only because it's got loads of letters in it, and it would take me half the show to read that username out. So maybe change your username to something we can easily give you a shout out for. Musa Speed Dangerous, says Dean Madigan. Well done, Mark. Great channel, says Inky. Thank you. It's made by you lot. Loads of you watching again, as per usual. Fantastic. Just keep sticking with us, and we'll keep doing the watch-alongs. That's all we can say, really. We just want to talk about football with you, and there's been some great comments. Hopefully we'll see some substitutions in the second half, or a big improvement. I personally wouldn't have given Rooney another minute in this game to improve himself at number 10, but I think Jose will give him time, because if he can turn him round, it's another great another thing that he can gloat about. And we all know Jose likes to gloat, and I've got no problem with that. But a foul there. I think Carrick might be going in the book.
I'm really glad that we're playing Leicester today, only because these sort of teams will get us more prepared for Bournemouth than playing, for example, like a Chelsea or an Arsenal.
Yeah.
These are your down and dirty teams that will really get dug in, and I think that's what we're really going to get that next week, especially away from home as well, first day of the season. So
I think next week's going to be a really tough. I think next week will be really tough based on what I've seen today, because it's first game of the season. You'd expect Bournemouth to be absolutely rocking for it, and they're always no matter Sir Alex Ferguson era or not, going away to these teams. I remember getting beaten by Burnley years ago with Sir Alex. I know Bournemouth aren't newly promoted, but it's still like a cup final for them, and with all due respect, and they will be up for it. And you've got to be on the top of your game, and I don't think we will be. I think we're still a massive work in progress. So we might, I'd take a 1-0 against Bournemouth off Fellaini's backside right now. It's a good. Bailey's done really well there with 2 good interceptions there. There'll be loads of Bailey love now. But he did really well there.
Even though start of the season, for a fact it's all going to be about Pogba. And, those Bournemouth players, they're going to think, okay, you're a £100 million midfielder. Do you know what I mean? They're going to be all over him. And then you'll get the back papers saying, oh, what a waste of money. You can see it now. You can see it now.
Thanks for everybody who's liked the video so far. That means a lot to us, obviously, because I did say we had over 1,000 likes now. Oh no, we do. That's fine. Mine's it's messing around a bit. That's fine. Yeah, thanks for everybody who's joined us on the watch along as well. Some fantastic comments. Keep them going as Anthony Martial runs into the box. This should be 2-0. It was a good layback. It was unfortunate. I think it was just out of Lingard's stride, but Rooney's got it on the edge of the box now, and typically gets tackled, and Leicester have the ball.
So I mean, it's just stuff like that. He's so I'll keep it composed. Standing.
Complete this sentence. Rooney has the ball. Well, it's the easiest sentence you'll ever complete. Now Leicester have it, because it is. As Casper LD says, his first touch is absolute rubbish. It really is shockingly bad.
You know what, don't you? Because you know what the Community Shield sponsored by? The Golden Arches. You keep looking at it. It's around the whole stadium. Those Golden Arches.
I bet McDonald's just want to give him man of the match no matter what.
Yeah, he's going there straight after him and Kai.
It is. The problem I have with Rooney is that there's the Rooney lovers out there who just blindly stick by him, and I understand that, and I suppose it's a sense of loyalty. But I don't mind whether you love Wayne Rooney. He's had a fantastic career, and that's what Wednesday night. That's what Wednesday night was about. He can still be a United legend, and it can still be said that he's playing crap, and he's probably coming towards the end of his career. And also, if Mata had this 50 minutes that Rooney's had, he'd be absolutely getting loads of stick, and rightly so.
Absolutely.
He's just giving the ball away way too much. Way too much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do like Rooney. I've always liked him, but for me, he's not. He would never be a legend in my eyes. I don't care if he breaks a goal scorer record, and that's only down to the way that he treated the club on 2 occasions. People forget the way that he treated us. He doesn't. Yeah, of course, he loves playing for us, but he thought he was bigger than Manchester United Football Club on 2 occasions. And so for me,
Leicester are in. It was a lovely touch by Mahrez. He's probably overcooked that. He's overcooked it. He should have gone on his own.
That, yeah.
He did. He sold Luke Shaw. It was a nice long ball, and he skinned Luke Shaw. To be honest, Luke Shaw's a very good player. Defenders will get skinned every now and again. Rojo gets skinned every now, but. It was a good bit of play by Mahrez, and he is a good player, and he skipped through, and he probably should have gone on his own, but he tried to find a pass, and United defended it quite well. So that was the end of that.
Tell you what, man, I might have to throw Bailey into my dream team, because I all right, he's not playing like a superstar, but he is decent. He's making some decent runs and moves.
Well, that Musa does look fast. He's just skipped past Carrick, which, to be honest, I know I'm a massive Carrick fan. Fellaini's got back, to be fair. Oh, Fellaini!
Oh, no.
Disaster.
No.
But Fellaini's going to get some absolute sticking now. Oh, thanks, Maron. You've just given us the best material. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Oh, unless it's been... Oh, no, it is a goal. It is a goal. Ranieri's going absolutely mad. So what happens is Musa skins Carrick in his own half, goes past him, he's running away. Bay stands him up. It's a pass into Vardy, which Fellaini cuts out, and then does the worst back pass you could ever hope for. And Vardy just runs through, rounds De Gea, and it's 1-1. It's shockingly bad by Fellaini. But I've just tweeted it there, and I'll stand by what I keep saying about Fellaini. That is why he shouldn't be in a Manchester United shirt. He will cost.
That's why Moyes loves him. He might get extra £10 million now for Moyes for that.
And fair play to Vardy, you know what? De Gea made contact with him there, and he could have gone down. Ranieri's, I tell you what, people who think this isn't a friendly, Ranieri's just gone absolutely mad about it. Yeah, fair play to Vardy, because De Gea made enough contact on him to he could have gone down for a penalty there. He didn't, and you know what? It's easy for me to sit here and say I told you so twice. 3 times. I predicted Fellaini. I was told Fellaini and Lingard would start an hour before anybody else. I said Pogba would sign for weeks, and I've been saying for 2 years that Fellaini's crap, and people just will not have it. I still don't think he'll be sold, and I still think he maybe offers something in a squad sense. But you put him in your first team, and you suffer. And he cost us a goal there.
Yeah, but what he offers, yeah, is his tallness and directness with his head. We can get that now with Zlatan. For me, it needs to go. And but next substitution will show. Like if Jose takes him off next, he's not good enough. He's not good enough. I'm sorry, he's not good enough for this team.
There's a positive. Great assist by Fellaini, says Ben UFC 18. And Muggy says Fellaini won us the FA Cup. He should be starting. What did Fellaini do? I don't remember Fellaini winning us the FA Cup. I really don't remember Fellaini. I remember Mata scoring. I remember Lingard scoring. I don't remember Fellaini winning us the FA Cup. Some myths going out there, but it could be a good thing in one way, because it was an individual bit of brilliance from Lingard that got us ahead. It wasn't a team performance that got us ahead. Yeah. And Leicester's team performance has been better than ours. I'm going to say something. Carrick's been shocking. As bad, apart from the assist for the Leicester goal from Fellaini, he's been just as bad. That's a bad tackle on Lingard there by Drinkwater, and Lingard is. It was a tackle from behind, and Lingard. I hope he's not injured, because he does look in a bit of pain.
He does look a bit of pain.
He looked like he landed funny, to be honest. I don't think there's any connection on his leg.
I love that point that you made there as well, Mark. We wasn't winning because we was dominating the match. We was winning due to an individual piece of skill. They've been better than us in this game. Let's be honest with each other. And 1-1. That should be the right score at the moment.
Yeah, it should be, and I should update that score, as people are telling me.
Yeah.
When the opposition score, I'm really slow. Normally, when we score, I'm a bit slow because I'm ranting on about and I'm happy. But when the opposition score, I tend to go into a little bit of denial with these watch-alongs. So it is updated, and loads of you have told me to do it. Matthew Gibney as well. Rooney with the free kick here. Zlatan's in.
Come on.
Oh no, Schmeichel's got it. See, Zlatan is such a monster, and we're just not using him at all. You know, whether it's decent ball into the box. Again, massively suffered like that under Van Gaal. We're just not putting crosses into the box. We're giving the ball away a lot. I mean, Leicester do look again for the 3rd game in a row, not against Leicester in the pre-season. They just look. That's a lovely ball by Musa. Good shot straight at De Gea. They look about 10% faster than us, and that comes down to fitness. But Finish Riverband, fill me what's going on. Well, first half, I think we discussed it. Leicester with a better team, but not many chances. Individual brilliance from Lingard got us 1-0 up. Second half, Leicester still the better team, and a sloppy back pass by Fellaini, and Vardy, to be fair, stayed on his feet as he went round De Gea and put it into an empty net. So 1-1, probably just about a fair result so far. Although Leicester have been the better team. Fellaini's playing now like he's trying to be the new Xavi, because he's demanding the ball and doing little 5-yard passes. But it won't make us forget, Mophead, that you've let Leicester back into this game. I think the biggest problem, without the Fellaini jokes, is mistakes will happen, especially when Fellaini's on the pitch. But our number 10 has just been abysmal. And he'll probably score in a minute, because that's what normally happens with Rooney, and then everyone forgets about how abysmal he's been. But he's just given the ball away again, and we are getting hit on the break, which is really amateurish. Good tackle by Blind. Rooney actually made a pass there. Everyone's up on their feet applauding. But yeah, we're getting it on the break by Leicester as well, which is really shocking, because that's the way Leicester have always been. Herrera is going to come on.
He has to be coming on for Fellaini. He has to be. 'Cause he's been terrible. I'm not even just saying that because I don't like the geezer, but he has been terrible this match.
I'm just going to take some comments. Andrew Rossi. Oh, Fellaini nearly made amends there. It was a decent cross, and Valencia a bit lazy to get after it, but it's a corner. Mistakes and red cards is what you get with Fellaini, says Andrew Rossi. Ignore Fellaini United team, says Paul 12. Herrera coming on, Grant Jones. Rashford on, says John Neer. Yep, nice to see that. Ben 420. Rooney shocking. Individual brilliance from Fellaini got the goal for Leicester. Yes, it was individual brilliance of the worst kind. Glitch Gamer, did Fellaini score an own goal? No, he didn't. He did a rubbish back pass, and Vardy ran through and scored. Fellaini coming off, Herrera on, says Lynn Hall. I don't know. I don't know whether he would take Carrick off. Carrick's not been good. Matter needs to be. I think Head Ballmaster hates Fellaini. Fellaini just isn't good enough, says Russell 22W. Ando and Nani back, says the Kojo 77. Rooney is the man of the match for McDonald, says Luke and Armstrong. Blinder's been good, says Valve Special. Yeah, Blind's been alright. You know what? Blind's never going to be shockingly bad, apart from against West Ham and Spurs away when we needed to win last year. But 9 times out of 10, he will be a decent centre back. But he's not a specialist. Why is Ibra not working? Was a comment there, because we're not feeding him. We're not feeding him. Martial is as bad as Ibra in this game. We're just not feeding him. But waiting to see who's coming off. I'd love to see it be Fellaini, because I think hopefully it'd be symbolic that we'll never see him in a United shirt starting again. But I've got a feeling it might be Carrick. Cross for Leicester. We actually won it, but it wasn't a very high cross. Right, this will be the substitution. Fellaini's looking at the side. No, he's running back to the boards of the penalty box, so maybe it's not him. It could be Rooney, I don't think we'll get that lucky, but it could be. Red Pepper, get Rooney off fast, the donkey. Fellaini's just won a header. Leicester are all over his though, Dan.
To be fair, Rooney's played worse than Fellaini this match. So.
Oh yeah, I'd say Fellaini, in all fairness, is probably 5, touching 6 out of 10, and then made a ridiculous mistake. But in fairness, and I will always be honest, Carrick's not been much better. He just didn't make a massive mistake. Rooney's the worst player on the pitch because it's the most important player on the pitch. You can get away, Martial's not been great, but his excuse is, well, I'm not having a lot of the ball. Rooney's had a lot of the ball and gave it away. Leicester are making another 2. See, Leicester have made 4 substitutions now. We've only made 1. He needs to get some players on. We've got, Jesus Christ, it is Carrick for Herrera. I was right. Unbelievable.
Do you think he's not making as many subs because he's got so many players already missing? But are these players that are missing actually injured? They haven't said that they're injured, because it's surprising now. We're in the 61st minute and he's made one sub.
Yeah, well, we should be using our subs because unless, as somebody said at the start, this is his first team against Bournemouth. In which case, because I don't think Pogba's fit for Bournemouth. For those who are getting excited about that, I really don't think that will happen.
I think he'll play. I don't think he'll start, but I think he will come on, unless they're saving for the first home match of the season. Give him a big welcome back. Lingard looks injured there.
Yeah. Is this the 2 substitutions Leicester were going to wait? Yeah, Lingard's injured, as says Kev McGee and Luke Armstrong. Let me see, Jonathan, Garrett James. You know what? I think there'll be a few people out there saying, you know what, so what? We've got this, at least Memphis will get on the bench and that. But in fairness to Lingard today, in a team that's not created very little, he did create something out of nothing and got us 1-0 ahead. When, you know what, you've always got to be honest, and we've not. If this was Van Gaal, you wouldn't be surprised if he was still in charge. It's not been very good. It's not been very good, and
I'm getting quite worried now by the subs that they're making. They're making some very positive subs. I
think Leicester have been the better team, and I think they'll be fresher. And I think Jose needs to react because we are reacting now. I think we are reacting. There's somebody else coming on for Lingard, Mkhitaryan. I hope that's not bad for Lingard because I do remember a couple of seasons ago he started against Mata.
Yeah.
Oh fucking! I shouldn't swear like that. But it's more bloody
slowness.
It's more square pegs in round holes, isn't it? You know, Mata's not a right midfielder, so we bring him on.
And he can't run. He can't. He's got. I love Mata, the little bearded magician that he is, but he hasn't got no pace. But just, I sense your frustration, Mark, and I see why you need John, but no, it's just it's crazy. He must be saving Mkhitaryan for Rooney.
Well, I hope so.
Is it extra time today, or does it go straight to penalties?
It goes straight to penalties, yeah.
Rooney, get off the pitch, man.
I must just say as well that we are obviously we will be live tonight at 8:30 on the Sunday night show, and we will obviously be talking about Pogba in more depth. But I think we're going to be talking a lot about this game as well. And I have to be, you know, Dan was saying he's getting a bit worried there. I've got to be honest, and what I say and what I said at the start of the game was, regardless of the result today, if we'd won 5-0 or lost 5-0, I wasn't going to be jumping on any bandwagon of Jose's crap or we're going to win the league, because I just don't agree with that. But we've got Rojo and Rashford coming on next.
Oh no! I'll take Rashford, Rojo. Go away, please.
I don't understand what the story is with Mkhitaryan then, as to why he's loath to use him. You know, because we know that Ashley Young could have been on the bench. If Mkhitaryan's not fit, you just put someone like that on the bench. So it's weird, isn't it? It's weird. And we've got Fellaini anchoring our midfield now as the dictator. I mean, for God's sake.
Don't forget, we've got another 4 subs. How many subs we made? 2. Yeah, we've got 4 subs now still. Mkhitaryan probably come on from now. Well, then again, 65th minute?
Yeah, go straight to penalties if it's a draw.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So I don't know what he's playing at.
We'll probably bring Rojo on for Zlatan, because I think Jose's line about Rooney's done quite well there. He put a cross in as well. And it's Mata. Herrera. We should have a little bit more pace in the midfield now. That's a poor pass by Valencia. Leicester just snapping at it, happy to hit on the break. It's a lovely ball. No, Blind will pick that up. It's a Fellaini. I wish that twat had just piss off. that came out, but you know what? I just watch him on the ball and I just wish he'd go. He just lumbers around and makes me feel sick in a Manchester United shirt. And I don't. I've always been consistent about it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Fellaini out all the way. Oh, I don't care what people say. You know, I can waver on Rooney here and there. You know, but Fellaini, no chance. He's not suitable for this team, this club.
I mean, I've forgotten Anthony Martial was playing today. I really have.
Yeah. He's getting no service. I think he's just getting annoyed as well himself now.
The Fellaini tackled. The issue for this, what I want to do is take some comments from the live comments about this. I mean, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, everybody? What are your concerns? We said this at the start of the game. We wanted to get your thoughts on the game and what's the big things that are jumping out for you, because I'm amazed by Jose saying in his first press conference that I don't do utility players, I do specialists. And I look at that team out on the pitch now, and there's just too many. There's not enough specialists on there. You know, you've got Valencia at right back, Blind at centre back. You've got Mata playing on the right midfield again. Whoever this lad is.
Look at that pace.
Jesus Christ, what a run! Well, Fellaini will make my gran look fast, but he ripped past Fellaini as well as Herrera. Leicester look far the more exciting side.
Yeah, he used to play for Norwich, Demarai Gray.
Yeah, he was at Birmingham as well.
Yeah.
They've got a good couple of signings there. Did they get Gray this summer, or did they already sign him in January, I think?
I can't remember if it was this summer or January, but I know it was quite recent.
Musa looks good though. If I was Mahrez, I'd stay at Leicester. You know, I'll tell you what. I think Leicester finishing in the top 4 this year would probably be a bigger achievement than winning the league last year. Because I think last year,
absolutely,
there's a load of teams who just didn't turn up. This year, everybody's turning up. You know, you've got Pep at City, we've got Jose, Chelsea, you've got Conte. Liverpool will be slightly better. Spurs will still be good. Arsenal never going to give up 4th place. So for Leicester to get in the top 4 this year would be amazing.
Even Europa League, even Manieri said any European position would be a huge achievement, because every team is just bang on it now. Everyone's got good managers. We've got money to spend. Hang on.
Fellaini in the box. What can he do? He wants to make amends. He lays it to Rooney. Rubbish straight at the keeper.
Why did he lay it so far back? This player's to the right.
It was January. Royuk says that Gray got signed. He looks decent, as does that Musa. He's using this game, the pre-season game we lost in China, says Mike Doherty. I hope you're right, Mike. I really do hope you're right. But Adi Allah says Pogba will play next match with this awful midfield. I just don't know whether he's going to be fit. He's been on holiday for what feels like a month. Rojo for sure now.
He's been working out hard every day. You know, working. He's been prong on it as well, working out. He's sort of like Zlatan, but he's always working out, always training. I'm glad Luke Shaw got another 69 minutes under his belt. Alright, so Rojo's at left back now.
I do feel that we are at the foot of a mountain with Manchester United, though, without no doubt. And there are still big problems to be solved. And the biggest problem of all, literally, is the fact that we've got a tree running around our midfield. But there are other issues as well. I don't think Valencia has been the sort of right back we need.
Oh, come on.
I think we've looked a bit ragged at the back at times. I thought Carrick just was shockingly bad, which was disappointing. I think Dan said it at half time, you know, defensive midfield could be a real problem position for us, because we've frozen Schweinsteiger out, who I think could do it. Schneidlin's not even come on this game. He's another one, Dan. You know, where's Schneidlin? Why are we not giving him minutes?
It's absolutely it's madness.
You got Mata on the right wing again. What do you learn from that, when Mkhitaryan could be getting used to the Premier League? Martial and Zlatan may as well have been given the day off, because they've just been fed nothing. It's a struggle. And then Lingard's gone off injured. He was one of the better players, so he's probably out of the Bournemouth game because he actually couldn't continue. If I was Josie, I would say the window is still open. Get it together or you are sold, says Kieran Evans. We're trying to play it too much like last season. We're not using width. Brilliant comment that is from Alex Griffiths. Nothing is coming in from the width at all. Kyle Beats saying pre-season doesn't mean anything. We won every game. It doesn't mean anything. You're absolutely right. But what means everything is the fact that Rooney is giving the ball away every time he's got it, and there's no effort or drive. And Leicester are probably miles off what they will play like in the Premier League. But there's actually a lot of effort, a lot of desire, and they're quite exciting on the attack. We're none of them things.
Yeah, absolutely. Pre-season doesn't mean everything. But I'll tell you what, as a manager, you don't want to see your team playing like this, 6 days before their first Premier League match.
No.
This isn't the first game of pre-season. This is the Community Shield. Come on, Premier League starts next week, and playing like this is not. It's not going to be very happy for Jose right now. He can't be happy with this.
Russell 22W saying, "Where's Darmian? Not even on the bench, mate." Pogba is the next Xavi. Rooney's been worse than Fellaini, says Abdul Bubbly. Yeah, I think we said that a few minutes ago. I wouldn't disagree with that. Fellaini made a mistake, but Rooney's sort of cost us a game, dictating the play, because he's just not got hold of the game. The number 10 has to do that, and if the number 10 doesn't do that, then nothing happens.
Zlatan could have scored on goal then.
Yeah, so it will go to penalties if it's still drawing at full time. And my money would be it probably will go to penalties unless Leicester score, because we don't look like scoring. Having said that, though, we didn't look like scoring in the first half, and then you get a bit of individual brilliance. And no pace, says Walid Khan, which is spot on, absolutely spot on. We're lacking pace totally in the midfield. I'm absolutely amazed that he's kept some of these players on the pitch. The two players I really think we needed to see today was Mkhitaryan to get him used to the Premier League, and Schneiderlin, because Carrick wasn't actually good in the defensive midfield position. Maybe he's planning to play Fellaini in there. I mean, the mind boggles at that, but the mind boggles as to why Pereira's nothing to do with our team, and every manager we've had in the last 3 years picks Fellaini. So I don't know who Rashford is on. I don't know who he came on for. Must have been Martial, yeah. Rooney losing it again. There's some good intricate play there, and Rooney lost it. Vardy's just been booked. Studs up on Mata. Could have been a red, to be honest.
It's a good end to the match because, we definitely know one team definitely wants to win this. Make no bones about it. Jose doesn't want to lose this match. No matter what he says afterwards, he definitely wants to win this match. Even Zlatan came out and said that, he will come home with his first trophy today, so...
I don't think, for everybody who's asking about Mkhitaryan, I really don't think he's in the first team plans for Bournemouth, which is quite surprising, because what does that mean? Does it mean he's not fit? He didn't even go to the Euros, so why would he not be fit? Does it mean he's not up to what Jose thought? Well, is your signing Jose? I'm surprised. I'm really surprised that the Bundesliga Player of the Year got goals and assists coming out his backside, and he's nowhere near this team that just couldn't score in a brothel, to be honest. We look bereft of ideas and pace, although it is slightly better now, and it's slightly better because you've got Rashford on the pitch and Mata on the pitch, and we are actually doing the little passes. We look better.
Tell you what,
it's like England,
every
isn't
time Rashford plays, the improvement that this guy makes to his team and England.
And he's playing on the left wing again, isn't he? I could see Martial regressing a bit. I don't think he was happy about losing the number 9 shirt. He's not getting a lot of the ball, and Rashford comes on and makes things happen. But I just wonder whether Martial's actually that happy.
I honestly believe that he wants to play at the top of the in that number 9 position as well. I don't think he likes being out on the left. He wants to be that, all-star goal scorer.
It'd be great if we scored from a corner, but we haven't. Baines lost his boot. I'm trying to think how many minutes I've got left. Just over 10, so still a lot going on. Omar Kermit just said, come out with a ridiculous comment. Rashford 1,000 times better than Zlatan. You clearly don't understand football, mate. And Mario saying Zlatan sucks as well. I just think you're not understanding the point with Zlatan. He's just not had any service at all. But there you go. Brian Nero, if you don't like it, off you go. Martial is a striker, says Ben MUFC 18. I disagree. I think he's better off on the left wing. You just got to feed him. I think he will be a striker, but with his back to goal, you don't get to use his pace. We have done slightly better in the last few minutes, though, Dan, haven't we? We seem to be moving the ball a bit quicker.
Hang on, who's that getting warmed up? Is that Mkhitaryan getting warmed up now?
Yes.
Yes, he is. And Morgan Schneider. So that's what's baffling me. These two, for me, would be in the starting 11. So, and they're already coming on for the last 10 minutes or so. Is he saving them? Is he saving the energy for next week? Do you think? I mean, it's a bit strange. It's a little bit strange. Leicester are bang on this time, man. I have to give. I'll take my hats off to Leicester. They give us a match. Come on.
Keepers, just a ball over the top.
I'll give it to Valencia though. He has been getting forward this match quite a lot. But I mean, that's not. My issue is not with Valencia getting forward, it's with his defensive. That's the only thing I'm worried about, is him defending. It's not getting forward. There he goes again, look. Got a corner out of it.
We never score from corners. Zlatan needs to get the ball in or around the box, not 10 yards out.
Hang on.
We're in. Oh, he nearly did score. Didn't put enough power in it, Zlatan.
Just a slight bit of power. That's 2-1 to us.
I mean, there's contrasting thoughts about the way things are. I've got no concerns about Zlatan, and I'd rather he was playing, quiet in a game like this, and then when it matters, he produces the goods. And a player who's been playing football for like 15 years or longer, who's got a goal every other game statistics. You shouldn't have anything to worry about as long as you create chances. That's the thing. We've got to create chances for him. That was a decent chance. He didn't take it, but that's the thing that worries me.
He's not going to lose confidence either. You get those players that go out for the season and they start, their head drops, and this guy doesn't. His head doesn't drop. He knows his ability. He knows what he's done. I'm not worried about it at all, to be fair, because no one's really performed. So you can't really put Zlatan's a flop. I mean, who's really stood up today apart from that Lingard goal? So I'm not worried about that at all. You got to remember the seasons. It's a very long season. We're in 4 competitions. It's gonna be a very long season.
So a good comment in the live comments there to say that Rooney will not be subbed because we'll keep him on for penalties. Yeah, probably will.
Who's going to come off then? You know what he might do? He might take Flaney off, even though he's going to sound like a hypocrite. Drop Rooney back into midfield just for now, and then play Mickey at number 10. But then where's Schneider going to play? It's a little bit baffling because you can't take Herrera off. You just bring him on.
Well, being as Jose's sort of gone against what he said in his press conference, where he said, "I only like specialists," I'd probably bring Mkhitaryan on and put Rooney back into the midfield, won't he? I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw a Man United player. Mark, I agree with you. I think that Martial is way better on the wing, especially with the runs that he makes on defenders on that left-hand side. That's from Brandon McLeanan. Ooh! Was that offside or Musa just over the bar in the 6-yard box? Rooney's pens are absolute quality, says JPF. Boring football. Same old story, says Thomas Duffy. This is embarrassing, says Omar Kumad. Rooney needs another hair transplant. Glory Hunter's watching the United Scousers. I don't know what that was. I think it was a Scouser. Score, guys, is 1-1. It's up on the screen. Rojo is so bad. Yeah, we know that. And there's some really bad players within our squad, I think. But we haven't sold anybody yet, have we? We haven't sold anybody. And I think most of us would sell probably 3 or 4 players straight away. So,
Absolutely. I think the purge might start happening as soon as Pogba gets sorted out on Monday.
Leicester.
He said it.
That's good. Is that Herrera? Play on. Rashford.
Oh, come on. Play the. Oh, yeah, it's play the advantage.
Rooney. Yeah, he's found the right back. He loves that right back pass, doesn't he? He's gone into the box. Valencia taking too long to put the ball into the box. This is the problem with Valencia. I know he got that hat-trick of assists against Galatasaray. Zlatan! It's in! Yes! Come on!
Oh, yes.
Get in! Brilliant!
That's it.
That's what you get with Zlatan. That's what you get with Zlatan. That's what you get with Zlatan. Where's all the doubters now, eh? Where are the doubters now?
United stand proved right again. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. When someone like Zlatan, he will come up when he needs to come up and score that goal.
Yeah, you're spot on, Dan. That is exactly what you get with Zlatan. I don't know what people expect. Oh, he's going to score. He's going to run past 5 or 6 different players. He's basically done exactly already in his Manchester United career exactly what he does everywhere. Well, you don't count Wednesday, that rubbish testimonial. He's played 2 his last 2 pre-season friendlies. He scored 2 goals. That's what he does. It probably wins us the game. Leicester, the better team. Yes, totally agree with that. But as we said, I would take Bournemouth dominating us next week. We win 1-0 and we keep building, and that's the brilliance of it. And
absolutely.
First goal was scored by Lingard. If I ever asked him, but yeah, that should be game over as well.
That's the confidence I was speaking about a few minutes ago. Zlatan's confidence doesn't drop. He knows what he can do. He said already he's come to win today. 1 game, 1 title, and he wants it today. And he's done it. He's come up. He scored that. Okay, the game's not over, but he's at the moment it's 2-1.
And I tell you what, Jose's there gritting his teeth, saying, "Come on!" And Ranieri reacted to Vardy's goal as well. This matters. This does matter. It's not a friendly. There is a trophy to it. It is a pre-season game, but it's probably the most competitive pre-season game you're going to get. And we've not been very good, but what we have shown is that when we're not very good, we can still score 2 goals. So, and Leicester are a good side. They're a better side than us. They won the league. They're the Premier League. They've got more effort. They've got more team unity. But Jose's only been here a month. I think he needs to learn some very, very quick lessons that he could probably speak to any United fan and will tell him, you don't pick Fellaini, and you need to get an experienced centre-back and a decent right-back. But Valencia got another assist there. I don't know why we don't play Valencia on the right wing. I keep saying it.
Might as well.
Oh, I don't know how he got that back, but it was a good cross. Mahrez, we should have enough players here. And Rojo made a tackle for once. He was still on his backside, but he did tackle it. And Rooney now with a bit of space, play the simple pass. Fellaini put Mata into all sorts of problems there, but it's a free kick.
That's all right. We'll slow it down.
I haven't done the score again. Look, I need to improve in relation to the score. I know.
It's the excitement. It's the start of a new era, guys. It's been a very, weird day for us in terms of obviously the announcement as well of #Pogback. Schneider's coming on now. Who do you think he's coming on for? Fellaini?
I would hope so. I really do not think Schneiderlin or Mkhitaryan are in his first team plans against Bournemouth. I think it's odd, but I don't understand why we didn't use Mkhitaryan today.
Look at Rashford's skill. Bloody hell. The kid's got a bag of talent.
I did say before, we will be live as per usual with the Sunday Night Live show, 8:30 tonight, talking the fallout from this game, but also Pogba. And I think the fallout from this game for me is more, we need to make some signings still. I still think there are some areas within our team that are a concern. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. So there's a lot of you watching. There's a lot of you watching this. Join us again at 8:30. Sunday nights will get interesting now with all the games and the football back. Zlatan, I don't think he's got the pace to beat Wes Morgan, but he's fighting with him.
He's fired up now.
Hey, I said this about Zlatan then as well, though. It's like we've never had a forward for a long time who's a bully, and he is a bully. He'll give us opportunities. Yeah. Got to put the ball in the box. Got to put the ball in the box. John Solaris, Fellaini, absolutely garbage. I think Rooney's coming off for Schneidlin. Some would say long overdue. Finally, says Hermin Sonja. Well, you know, Fellaini's managed to stay on. I've liked the video, says Ryuk08. Thank you, everybody, for liking the video. I think we've got over 1,000 likes, which is great. Where are all the haters now, says Harrison. There was a bit of Zlatan hate. I don't understand that. I think he showed exactly what he can do. Booing Rooney, says wow. I don't think they are. Shocking game from Rooney, says Carmichael. Who scored for his first? What you got to remember about Rooney is, whether you understand this or not, Rooney is a massive influence over that Manchester United squad. They all look up to him. He's a massive influence within the club and the dressing room, etc. It's a massive, massive call to start dropping him. I think somebody should do it if he's not performing, but he's got a massive control over Manchester United, and he has done for a number of years. So to phase him out is no small job, and I don't expect it to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, I think it would have been a lot harder, and it was a lot harder. I think that's why he got to get those contracts he had when Ronaldo was not around. But I think these days, when we're signing players for £100 million, it is starting to get a bit easier now to phase, to sort of phase him out now. We got people like Zlatan. You know what I mean? Zlatan knows for a fact that he's a better player than Rooney. So in that dressing room now, it's a bit different. But yeah, it is. They do look up to him. Rashford has only ever known Wayne Rooney to play for Man United. So things like that is you do have to remember that sometimes.
I love that goal though. This is what Zlatan gives us, and I think we'll start scoring more corners as well. It's like we put a cross into the box against Leicester last year, like that one, which was hung up by Valencia. And who thought it was Morgan on this occasion? We'll just eat it for breakfast and get rid of it, like they do against most sides. But you put Zlatan in the box, and he bullies Morgan, and he gets above him, and that's what we've got now in the number 9 position. Somebody who will bully centre backs and give as good as he got, and give us goal opportunities that we would not have. That would have been an easy header by Morgan last season, because we haven't got anybody who's going to cause him a problem. Zlatan did. We win the game, hopefully, but we get ahead in the game, definitely, and that's massive. Valencia's captain now, which is odd.
Mkhitaryan's coming on.
Whoa! Give him 2 minutes. Well, it's nothing. Give him 30 seconds.
He has to be annoyed about that.
Leicester just sort of pumping it along now. This is where I don't think I think the game is won.
I know, 2-2.
Just sort of camped on their box now. It's a decent cross, but De Gea will get out of that. I'm struggling with my clock, but I think we're 45 minutes, so should be just about it. Russell, I totally agree with you. What's the point in bringing Mkhitaryan on for 2 minutes? Absolutely none. Benjamin says he was resting him. I disagree. I don't think he'll play next week. I mean, why rest a player who needs Premier League experience? Really odd. Mark, why is Mickey dropped? Says Wayne9394. Got no idea. Absolutely no idea. Bailey man of the match deserves, says Bradley Crawford. I presume that's been given by BT. Given Bailey man of the match. Yeah, we'll talk about that after the final whistle. I think that might be just about it. Was he your man of the match? Is the main thing on the live comments. Was he your man of the match? Mkhitaryan isn't going to get on. He's just stood there in his kit and he won't get on. Great control by Zlatan. It's a matter. I mean, Schneidlin's playing as a number 10 now. It's ridiculous. a lot of square pegs in round holes again. Hopefully that will get resolved by next week. But it's been a good test. I mean, Leicester are a good team. They're Premier League champions. They look much like the Leicester of last year. Lots of effort and endeavour. I don't think they're gonna.
Well, last ditch corner.
They're gonna win. They're not gonna win the league. I think it'd be amazing, as we were saying before, if they can get into the top 4. There's a Leicester fan with his head in his hands. It's only the Community Shield, mate. Don't worry about it. You've had your dream. You won the league. Don't worry about it. Sam the Man says Mickey's only contribution today is as a time waster. Way to utilise a talent. That's over hit. He'll hit that. Cross. Well blocked. That should be it. Is he going to blow? Yeah, Valencia's captain, which is interesting because I thought, well, his Zlatan's on the pitch. Why wouldn't he give it to him? But I suppose it doesn't really matter in this sort of a game. Poor old Mkhitaryan. I feel sorry for him if he wasn't on hundreds of £1,000 a week. Just stood on the side. Oh, he is going to come on. Blessed Babylon says, I swear Louis van Gaal's still the boss. I think he's taking Mata off. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He got a bang on the knee a few minutes ago. So I think that might just be for precaution.
Abidarasak says Valencia man of the match. Interesting. Oh, it's a Leicester throw in, so they're going to chuck it in long. Their keeper's up for this. It's not a great throw in either. De Gea should get it. De Gea's got it. Have a go for the goal, David. Oh no. They're telling him to calm down. They're telling him to hold on to the ball. We are parking the bus now, but if anybody doesn't realise. Mark, who's your man of the match? I'll ask Dan first.
Surprisingly for me, it might be Valencia, to be fair. I don't think anyone's particularly stand out, but Valencia, he hasn't had much to do defending really, coming back, and he has attacked well on the right, and like you said, playing like that, why not just play him at right wing? So for me, I'll give it to Valencia.
Roma Dude saying that Jose and Louis van Gaal are from the same cloth. I disagree, and hopefully I'll be proven right there. I don't think Jose plays 2 defensive midfielders for a start every game, even when you're at home. Oh my God, the pace of Vardy there.
Look at that pace.
But Bailly wins it.
That should be it now, shouldn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, that's it. Come on, surely.
He's still not blowing. He's enjoying himself.
That's what she said.
Fellaini not winning it. Oh! He wants a penalty. It's a corner.
Oh.
Not winning the first ball again, unfortunately. Ball comes in, and we're not winning the first one. Leicester are decent at corners. They should have put that in. Why didn't he put it in? Zlatan, shoot! Shoot!
Why are you let us play on? Oh, you blew the whistle.
Oh, that's it anyway. It's over. It's 2-1 to United. And they're very happy. They are very happy. Why not? Why not?
Brilliant game. We got pretty decent in the second half, to be fair.
My man of the match. Let's have a look. I would go with Bailly. I think. I don't actually think there was that many great performances in the team. I thought. I think you could almost give it to Zlatan in a sense because he won the game, and he kept grafting. Martin was right. He went 2-1 before Dan came on the show earlier, so well done to him. Yeah, I'd go with Bailly. I think. The interesting thing is, in the contrast to, I think Mkhitaryan needed to play today to get used to the Premier League. We did exactly that with Bailey, and he's had another 90 minutes against Vardy, one of the best mid strikers in the league, and he did really well. I still think he's quite raw, Bailey, but he will learn with every game, and he needs game time, and he played, and he will definitely play next week against Bournemouth. So all the good. Dave Powen, first game, first trophy. So yeah, I'd go with Bailey man of the match. De Gea not really tested. Luke Shaw did okay, another few minutes for him. Valencia okay at right back. I still think he will cost us goals at right back. I'd play him on the right wing. He set the winning goal up. Blind steady again. I think we won't win a title with Blind as a first choice centre back. Carrick poor, Fellaini poor, Rooney poor. All the three midfielders poor and slow. Lingard didn't do much but scored a good goal. Martial not used, didn't do much. Zlatan didn't do much, scored a goal. Rashford came on, did well. Mata, Herrera, average cameos, but yeah. Anything I've missed there, Dan? Do you think?
No, I think you pretty much covered it. Really, I think it was what you just said. It was what you saw. I don't think we learned much new from this match, to be honest with you. I don't think we learned anything new. The only thing we probably learned was Bailey could probably handle the physicality of the Premier League, and that's about it, in my eyes. I mean, other than that, all the other players played exactly how I thought they'd play. Yeah. End of the day, look, it's a win. I don't want to get too negative about it. 2-1 win, I'll take that.
Yeah, and as we said during the game there, I am concerned about Bournemouth because we are away from home. Bournemouth will be like Leicester. They will give us a good run for the money, and they will be up for it. And it will be a difficult game, and I don't think we're going to be anywhere near ready the way Jose wants us to do. We're not playing good football. We're not creating good chances, and there are weaknesses within our team. But if we can get a result like we've got today at Bournemouth next week, we will get better with every game. I think our pre-season was pretty shocking. I think the China thing was a mistake, and it cost us a lot of fitness, and we are still playing catch up. But I think we're going to have to try and grind out some results. I think Jose knows how to do that. But we might just suddenly click at some point. We've got the players to do it. We're about to sign Paul Pogba. That's fantastic news. Whether he'll be fit enough for Bournemouth, I do not know. I hope so, because I think we need something like that. I think where we're going wrong at the moment is we can get by with that back four, even though I think we need a right back and an experienced centre back. We can get by with it, but we can't get by with a midfield that is so slow and uncreative. And I'm a massive fan of Carrick, not so much so with Fellaini, and Rooney needs to step up to the plate. But those three today, they concern me going into this season. Lingard, Martial, Zlatan, yeah, I'd like to see Mkhitaryan playing with them three as well, but they can't do anything if they're not fed by the midfield, and the midfield need to feed things. And I mean, you got Rooney having a good old laugh there with Zlatan. To be honest, if I was Jose, I would be taking Rooney aside and saying that is just not acceptable today. You were so wasteful, and you're not playing against Bournemouth. That's what I would say. It won't happen. Yeah. He will play against Bournemouth. He has got to grab the games. He's a number 10. It's the most important position in an attacking sense, and he's got to get hold of the game. I don't know why Mkhitaryan didn't play today. He's got the most assists and most goals in Europe last year. He's the player of the season in Bundesliga. He is fit. Why he's not playing, why he wasn't used, I don't know. It's worrying. I don't think he'll play against Bournemouth. I don't know why, but it's a work in progress. We're a work in progress, Dan, aren't we?
Yeah. I saw when the match finished and the players were walking around the pitch. Mourinho looked embarrassed that he just won that match. I don't think he thought we was. I think he knew that we were second best, and I think he knows next week. I think next week's going to be harder than this match. I really do. I really think it's going to be harder than how Leicester played with us. It's time to. I think he's going to really go in there and say to these guys, "Look, even though you just won this game, you just won the Community Shield. You need to back up your ideas, because playing like that, we're not going to be able to get away with it all season like that." And I think we will. I think we will get it sorted. But as you said, he does need to have a word with players, especially players like Rooney. Forget Fellaini. Players like Rooney are going to be in and around that team constantly, so they need to really back up their ideas going forward.
Yeah, I mean, Zlatan, there was some people hating on him on Twitter and on our live comments, and he just showed exactly what he's there for. He's score a goal, win a game, and we wouldn't have done that last season because he bullied Wes Morgan to get on the end of that. Wes Morgan and Huth were impenetrable last year, and we didn't have a player last year who could deal anywhere near them. So yeah, really, really good. I don't know why they're all hugging Fellaini, but destroying Mata's confidence with that sub, says Glory. Who do you think? Yeah, he came on and he got subbed towards the end, but more worried about why it was Mkhitaryan.
He injured his knee, didn't he?
Yeah, Mata might have been carrying a knock.
Yeah, he was.
Dave Poulton says he expects at least 4 players to leave this week. That'll be interesting. Mark, how many more chances do you want to give Rooney? Come on, have a reality check. Says Cameron L1. I'm normally the one getting on Rooney. I think when it comes to Rooney, I think I'm more realistic than letting my heart rule my head, because I would drop Rooney based on his perform at the moment. It's not what you need from a number 10, but I know he won't be dropped, so I'm just like, I suppose he's getting a bit of a free pass really, because he will play next week. But he was shocking today, really, really bad for a number 10.
He was. He was terrible. I didn't think he'd play well today, but he's played worse than I thought he'd play, and I didn't think he'd play good. And I mean, if he plays like that the next 2-3 games, he has to come off. He has to start on the bench. There's no way that performance warrants him in the starting team.
MUFC 8 says we were poor today, but when Mourinho gets a winning start, it usually ends well. There was a comment in there that Jose needs to go out and buy Matuidi for Carrick, says Darren Young. First time I've really thought that, and again, Carrick wasn't good, so why weren't we using Schneiderlin? It worries me that Fellaini's the backup plan. I mean, God, he's going to learn the hard way, Jose, and I don't think he's a stupid man at all. I think he's the right man. But if he thinks he can pick Fellaini in a first team and win a Premier League, or even get in the top 4, he's going to have a harsh reality bite. But I'm sure he won't do that. I'm sure he won't. But he kept him on for most of the game today. Jazrup Schools thinks Rooney will be dropped. I don't think he'd do that. Because one thing Rooney's got is the press and the club behind him, and it would be an absolute media fallout if he did that. Be a brave man, and Josie's brave enough to do it. But he was poor. Kwame says he was poor. Fellaini was shocking. Carson Whittle, shout out please. Mark, do you think Jose and Mickey fell out like Hazard, says Danny Collins? No. Too early. And remember, Mkhitaryan's his signing. I could see him falling out with Memphis, but Mkhitaryan's his signing. He's one of his marquee signings. Dave Portman's very impressed with Bailly today. Rooney is holding the team back, says Jay Odell. I've been away and just saw Pogba news, says Zark. Yeah, Pogba official. Manchester United have announced that he's having a medical this afternoon. What happened with Mata and Jose? Nothing. James Radicki, I think he came on as a sub and then he's gone off with a knock, and it was literally for the last minute. Poor on the wings, says Thomas, which is spot on. No pace and no use of the wings. Full time. It is full time, yeah. It's 2-1 to Manchester United. Audio. What if he's advertising Fellaini and Rojo? Jerome Lopez. Well, I think that'd be poor defending, poor management, don't you, Dan? To be advertising Fellaini for 90 minutes when you could be playing Schneiderlin and getting him ready for games. I don't. But there's a few people saying that this is just all about advertising players, and we'll play Mkhitaryan next week. But I don't buy into that. I think why not play him today?
Yeah, I bought into that for the first 25-30 minutes. Yeah, give him 30 minutes. When he's playing 90 minutes plus, I don't think that wasn't an advertisement after that. Because at the end of the day, Schneiderlin really needs to get those minutes up. Because for me, personally, he's the guy that is going to have that defensive midfield role. Obviously, I know Carrick's got another year, but that's after this year, Carrick's gone. It's Schneiderlin for me. And so for me, I think he should have had at least 60 to 70 minutes in this match. He didn't get it. So I'm concerned. I'm concerned for next week. For Schneiderlin's case, but who knows? Because again, Mkhitaryan, 5 minutes, if that. That's quite. It's a bit strange. It's a little bit strange for me at the moment. I can't really make sense of it. And again, as we said, sorry, go on.
Go on, no, you're right.
No, I was just gonna say again. Where's Memphis? Where's Young? it's all a bit strange. So I'm not too sure.
Well, the thing is, we've got a massive squad, and there was always going to be people who didn't make it into that team. I'm a massive Carrick fan. He was poor today. He can do a lot better. I think we go into this season with a lot more questions than we maybe thought we would have, because we've not clicked as a team yet, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. We clicked quite well with Van Gaal in both pre-seasons, and then we're shocking in the league. So hopefully it'll go the other way around. But we need to improve drastically. Woodward and Glazer. Yeah, Woodward and Marino looking very happy there. But we will improve. Yeah, we will improve.
Oh no, sorry, go on.
We will improve. We will get better. We've definitely got the players to have a very good first 11 now. It just needs to stop with the Rohos on the bench and the Fellaini's in the team. And let's get Pogba in. Let's get Pogba fit quick. I can't see how Pogba is going to be anywhere near fit to play next Sunday. I know it's a week away, and he's probably done his medical today, unveiled tomorrow, train all week. He might make the bench, hopefully, but it's a big ask. But we do need that in the midfield because we're just so slow today. So we're going to lift the trophy here. It's Rooney. He's lifting up the trophy, looking very happy. That's the modern footballer, that is. £300,000 a week, absolutely shocking performance, and gets to lift the trophy at the end of the day. It doesn't look like he's got a care in the world or any apprehension that he was crap. And that's. I don't get it, but hopefully Jose will sort that out, because it needs to be sorted out. Definitely. I'm going to wrap it up there. We've been on for a few hours. Thanks everybody for watching. Absolutely superb figures again. I'm sure we'll be back with another watch along next week, because it seems to be doing really well. Thanks for coming on, Dan.
No problem. Anytime.
We will be back at 8:30 with a watch along tonight, but we'll give Dan the night off, having done the not a watch along tonight, Sunday Night Live tonight, where we talk a bit more about Pogba and other things. I think Alex and Joey are definitely on, and maybe one other. So join us for that at 8:30. And there is, for those who have subscribed to United Stand Extra Time, that will be on straight after that as well, for a more laid-back, realistic, and say what you want Q&A. But thanks everyone for watching the United Stand. Thanks for being part of the watch along. It is your show. Really, really great comments as per usual. Really enjoyed it, and massive numbers. And just keep getting involved with the United Stand. It is your channel. And really enjoyed it, and we've won a trophy, our first one for we won one in our last game, didn't we, as well, at Wembley. So hopefully we'll be back at Wembley again this season, but hopefully we'll have a Premier League trophy. We might seem quite far off that at the moment, but stranger things have happened. Speak to you all later at 8:30, and thanks for coming on.